gonna deny this. Do the best you can. I haven't got a plan, but I'm gonna survive this. That's just who I am. When you're on blue, you keep everything inside of you. You try to play it cool. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. I don't know why you are confused. All you need is a little bit of attitude. Yeah. This is it. I'm tired of explaining. It's too late because everyone is waiting. That's great. So why are you complaining? You're on blue. If I'm unsure, will anybody notice? It's my fault because I love you on purpose. I'm insecure or just a little nervous. You're on blue. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. Starting to enjoy the view. I'm all about the attitude. Knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you. Tell me who knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you. Hey, I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. You, I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Hey, I just wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. You, I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Radiant in my world. Radiant. Hey, I'm gonna know. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they say. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Let's go. Yo. Dude, how we doing Monday night? Sorry for the late start. I was a little behind. I took a good sized afternoon nap. I was tired. Day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye, then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them, nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in. Hey, yeah. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're given. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in. Hey, yeah. Ooh, oh. Thank you. Stop the stupidity. Let's go. Ooh, oh. Let's go! Dude, I saw a comment earlier from someone who was thanking me for all I do, and you're welcome, boss. Thank you for being here. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in. Hey, yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Do. All right. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right. Dude. Monday. God, I feel like the last couple days have actually been pretty chill.
news-wise, right? They have. Everything's been pretty chill. Dude. Like, I don't know. It makes you wonder. Like, is Trumpy getting a fucking infusion or what? Right? Is he? Are they pumping the handful of chemicals or what, dude? Dude, still shit, but chill? Yes. No, it is indeed. It is indeed shit. You know what we fucking noticed? All right, hold on one sec here. So what was pretty crazy? Oh fuck. Now I forgot what I was gonna say, dude. I got distracted by that text message. Right? You think they're embalming him? Dude, we should be so lucky. Right? Oh, no, I remember what I was gonna talk about. It's shrinkflation. Okay? They did it again. Like we've been noticing this at the grocery store. Like in particular, there's like this nice, fucking, like we buy like a regular coffee and then a nice coffee and we mix the two together for like a specific flavor. And so the fancy coffee that we buy, they've been making the container smaller, okay? And they just did it again where they went from like a 12-ounce can to a 10-ounce can for the exact same price. And this is happening like store-wide, okay? This is like getting fucking out of hand, boss, where every couple of months, it's like they'll alternate. They'll raise the price, and then the next time they'll shrink the can, and then they raise the price, and then they shrink the can. But they're like double teaming it, dude. Dude, it is ridiculous. Pretty soon you're going to go to the grocery store and something that was like 16 ounces, you're going to be paying the same price and it's going to be like 3 ounces. I'm not even shitting, bro. Right? Yeah, the coffee can will be like, dude, it'll be like this, bro. And it'll be fucking, $9.99. You're going to be like, fuck, dude. Dude, am I supposed to snort this shit or what? Am I supposed to like pound this shit up my ass? Dude, guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like capitalism is just getting out of control now. Okay? All of these companies are having record profits, and yet every month I'm getting a notice that, the price of some subscription service I have is going up like 25% or 50%. Like they are literally, all the prices are just jacking everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything is like just getting jacked, dude. Dude, it's crazy. It is like so, I don't know, man. It's like so bizarre, guys. It's just absolutely out of control. And where does it stop? Right? And did you see TikTok, guys? Check this out, okay? Because this is disturbing. Okay, TikTok got quietly purchased by Trump associate, Larry Ellison. Well, look at this, guys. Okay, this is wild. They added a feature silently to TikTok, okay? Look at this feature. Look at that. It's in your privacy settings. And they added a little thing down at the bottom. They added a new slider that says, allow AI to remix content. Okay? Now, you know what's really creepy about this? They added it retroactively to all of your old videos. And the only way to turn it off is to go to each individual video and go to privacy settings and turn the slider off. So you would have to go back. I mean, dude, like my gaming account has thousands of videos. A lot of people post like 5 times a day. You would have to go back to every single one of your videos and fucking adjust all of them, okay, one by one in order to take that away. Now, simultaneously, guys, what's going on is this, okay? I know you've seen this, but look at this, dude, okay? This is so dirty, guys, right here, okay? Hundreds of AI-generated Trump propaganda accounts are popping up on TikTok, okay, which is owned by a Trump billionaire. Up to 64% of users on Elon's Twitter X, which is owned by our bots, which is owned by a Trump billionaire. Independent third-party fact-checking ended on Facebook and Insta and Meta, which is owned by a Trump billionaire. But so, guys, look at this shit. They have AI pro-Trump accounts coming out that are just like, oh my God, the left does this, the left does that, the left does that. So they're having AI like Trump fans propagate themselves on TikTok. But guys, here's where it gets dangerous, okay? Here's where it gets toxic. Because you combine the two, all right? And what do you have? Here's what you have. You have a political content creator goes out and makes a piece of content about something Donald Trump is doing. And within minutes, 1,000 different accounts can remix that TikTok that a political content creator made. And they could have 1,000 different AI replies rebutting it or saying outright lies. And, you know, it's AI. And they're right. There's nothing you can really do to them. You can't defame the AI avatar. But within minutes, they could have 1,000 rebuttals to a piece of content on 1,000 different AI channels. And what do we do about it? It's like our whole information world is now going to be turning into like targeted propaganda. So gross, dude. You know what I'm saying? It is so gross, bro. Dude, I cannot believe, guys. I cannot believe that like all of the social medias are pretty much, you know, owned by Trump billionaires now. and dude, how did we let that happen? How did we let that happen? Artificial intelligence generated fake influencers have surged on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube in an apparent bid to hook conservative voters. Okay, hundreds of fake pro-Trump avatars, right? In one TikTok video, a blonde films herself with a group of women at a racetrack. If you support Trump, you just made a friend, she says. In another video, it's a brunette, this time with a group at a stadium. If you support Trump, you just made a friend, she says. In a third post, a redhead is with a group at a basketball court. If you support Trump, you just made a friend, she said. Each video features an identical, grammatically awkward caption. I'm new here and love God, America, and Trump. All are the work of artificial intelligence. In the months leading up to the midterm elections, hundreds of accounts have emerged on social media featuring AI-generated pro-Trump influencers posting at a rapid pace about the radical left and America first. They tend to appear as ordinary, if very good-looking men and women, gazing flirtatiously at the camera while pontificating about the war in Iran, abortion, or Bad Bunny. Dude, crazy. President Trump has reposted content from at least one of the accounts, a platinum blonde avatar making unfounded claims about California's governor. Dude, like, bro, we are entering into the dystopian, like, you know, the dystopian fucking rodeo, bro. It is so crazy. Dude, so nuts, boss. if you want Armageddon, you have a new friend. If you want Butler, Pennsylvania, oh shit, right? The New York Times began tracking Maga boosting AI generated TikTok posts in January and discovered at least 304 accounts sharing the content, some of which have since disappeared. Researchers with the Governance and Responsibility AI lab at Purdue University, known as GRAIL, found another dozen accounts across TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Eric Nelson, a special investigations analyst from 𝗙𝗪𝗏, a digital threat mitigation company, identified another 9 accounts on YouTube. Now, guys, what's crazy about this is that, you know, this ties in with what Trump was talking about wanting to make it so no states can regulate AI. Okay, remember that executive order where he's insisting, oh, we have to become the forefront of AI. We must be the leaders in this industry. So we want to make it so nobody can regulate AI for 10 years. Dude, if you want a pine box, you have a friend. Okay, dude, if you deliver pine boxes, bro, so crazy. Several accounts have already amassed more than 35,000 followers. Some of the posts have more than 500,000 views. The accounts reviewed by the Times were not identified as AI generated. It's not clear who created the AI accounts, and determining whether they are the product of a hired content farm, a foreign influence operation, an experiment, or something else is difficult, experts said. They all agree, however, that creating such avatars is becoming easier, especially for contractors and marketing companies that now specialize in developing and dispatching AI avatars in bulk for increasingly low prices. The emergence of the AI-generated political avatars, researchers said, suggests a sweeping effort to hook conservative voters, a demographic primed by the president and his circle to accept memes, influencers, and deepfakes and other digitally packaged messaging. Neither the Times nor the researchers it consulted found any similar left-leaning networks. And see, that's it, guys. I think what it is they're actually brain dead enough to buy into it, right? We need something unified like NAFO and NAFO, we counter disinformation. All right. Yeah, no, I mean, there does need to be some sort of like deep regulation. You know, there really does. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be some kind of, you know, I mean, you could do it at the state level and then of course that would cause like a general modification. But the fact that they're going after right wingers and I can totally, you know what I'm saying? I can totally see that. Now, I've been seeing shit for the better part of the last year and a half on YouTube, where YouTube every week sends you like some sample videos that are blowing up and it says, oh, breakout videos or other videos like yours that are doing well, to give you ideas as like brainstorming. But increasingly, those breakout videos have been AI videos with like the still frames and the push in on the still frames and then some AI voice doing some fake story, but they are identified as AI in the description. But they're not like avatars. They're not pretending to be people. They're just a faceless, you know, voice video that is obviously AI generated. But man, they get a lot of push. They get a lot of views. And a lot of people are in there commenting on this. It's just, what are we doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Okay? What are we doing? Dude, yeah, this is crazy. And I mean, I get it. They are, okay? They are like Dude, I mean, their back is against the wall. Okay. That much we know, that the MAGA back is absolutely against the wall. They are struggling. They are. And guys, again, you ready for this? Tomorrow is the big day, guys. Tomorrow, baby. This is going to be a big one, guys. Okay? Tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow is, right? You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is going to be the big deal, okay? Right? Dude, tomorrow is the big day, guys. Virginia. Dude, look at this article, bro. Oh my God. Look at this. I mean, dude, look at what they're fucking putting out right before this, dude. Right? Look at this shit. Right? It is like even the New York Times, dude, is like totally pro-fascism, bro. Right? An election, Virginia. Yeah, no, what it is, guys, it's the referendum on the maps. Okay? So because of Texas's mid-year gerrymander and Florida talking about the mid-year gerrymander, Virginia is altering their map from 6 blue, 5 red to 10 blue, 1 red. Okay? But they're voting on it tomorrow. Tomorrow is the vote. And of course, look at the article the New York Times is putting out the day before the vote. Democrats once loathed gerrymandering. Now they're pushing for it. The party is seeking an extra edge in Virginia at a time when its thinking has changed on the partisan drawing of political maps, in large part, leaders say, because of President Trump's tactics. And it's like, yo, dude, the Democrats have never done a mid-decade map change. Never. Okay? They have never done it. This is only MAGA shit. This is shit that Trump exclusively got Texas to do. And it is in all part because of what is happening with Trump and them trying to change the maps. And you know what's wild, guys? Here's what's really wild is how brutally hypocritical these MAGA shitters are. Okay? That is what is so crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? This is Scott Presler is an example. All right, you ready? Hold on. So where is it? Okay, the Scott Presler is out there chasing Virginia. Okay. Dude, he says this. It takes away representation from black voters. Dude. Dude. What an idiot. Yeah, sure, because of all the black voters that vote red. You idiot. But hold on. Let me find the Presler fucking... Let me find the tweet that I'm looking for. There's one, guys, that is just crazy. Okay? It is just batshit. Let me find it here. Hold on, I'm going through and fucking liking all my fucking... I gotta find this tweet. Where you at, boss? It's this. All right, here, I'll just show you this way. I know how I can do it. All right, let's look up Presler. Yeah, no, this is a big one. I'm telling you right now, guys, tomorrow, defines the midterm. Okay, it really does. Tomorrow is the midterm definition. This is like Jay Jones Redux, and it's in Virginia because Jay Jones was a big defining moment of them trying to weaponize Portland and Chicago and all their right-wing like shitfluencers that were out there trying to instigate fights at protests. And they said, Jay Jones is going to kill your kids. And they were trying to beat him, and he won anyway, even though they had ads around the clock. Jay Jones is going to kill your kids. And all of Virginia is like, we're voting for Jay Jones, right? Screw you. They didn't buy in. Tomorrow is like the first shot of the midterms, like a real shot where we see this state that got won by the Democrats, and there's been a nonstop propaganda campaign since the Dems won there, with them propagandizing their gun laws, propagandizing them adjusting the maps to you know, compete with Trump changing maps. And so this has been a hardcore, like the Republicans are counting on this being the sign that they have a chance to win the midterms. And if this vote goes where those maps get redrawn, that's going to significantly help the Democrats, and it's going to take a lot of wind out of their sails. But what's interesting about this guy is Presler is out there, okay? Presler is out there like fucking, you know, in Virginia on the ground, like, oh, I'm campaigning. Now, most of what this guy touches loses. This guy, mostly what he really does is he just takes millions of dollars from the Republican Party, and he's taking a lot of money, but he's not actually having a huge impact on races. He's, you know, a social media personality. But here, look at this, though. He says, I'll personally be at polling locations in Roanoke tomorrow, shock the nation and vote no to the unconstitutional gerrymandering scam, is what he says. Okay? Right? And he's got a rally here to stop the gerrymandering. Okay? Look at this. Look at this map. These are Illinois congressional districts. Democrats have gerrymandered Illinois into oblivion. Democrats are trying to do the same to Virginia. Okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? So he is all against gerrymandering, right? Hugely against it. Hold on, let me find another one here where he calls out and says, right? So he, as you see though, he is like significantly, right, join Senate for Virginia and me to stop the unconstitutional gerrymandering scam. Now, okay, right? It's legit. This guy is anti-gerrymandering. Okay, all right. Well, let's look at this. You ready? Oh, this was Scott Presler just a few short months ago. To any Republican senator that voted against redrawing Indiana's congressional maps, we are coming for your seats peacefully. That means you, Peggy Mayfield and Roderick Bray. So in Indiana, he was like, if you don't redraw the maps and gerrymander, we're gonna primary you. Right? Oh, okay. So make up your mind, Scotty Press. Are you pro gerrymandering? Or are you anti gerrymandering? Because I'm a little bit confused, guys. Okay? I'm a little bit confused. Dude, he may be AI. I wish he was AI. Dude, he is all too real, bro. He is just all too real. Dude, let's look at him. He's going on Fox News all the time, but you ready? Here we go. All right, watch this, dude. Look at him. All right, here we go.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Presler. Tomorrow's the big day. Please, I need you to talk to everyone you know in Virginia. Get them to vote no to the...
Dude, he is so awkward. He's always doing the walk and talks. All right, he is always doing the walk and talks.
I'm giving a very peaceful warning to Senate Majority Leader Thune. He has 13 days until the end of April to pass the Save America Act into law. And respectfully,
Dude,
if the Senate majority...
Dude, look at him. He's like, if Thune doesn't pass the Save America Act, you have 13 days, Thune. And if not, me and Benny Johnson are going to come and we're going to rough up your nuts. Okay? Okay, Thune? You have 13 days, Mr. Thune. And if not, me and Benny Johnson are going to come and we're going to rough up the nuts. Yes, Mr. Thune. Dude. Jesus. Dude, like, guys, Milo doesn't have to spill on this guy, okay? Can I just show you, though? Milo does not have to spill on Scott Presler, okay? Because there's already a Scott Presler scandal, okay? You ready, dude? Hold on. Look at this. In 2016, okay, reported by Politico, he worked for the Republican Party in Virginia, guys. He was an operative for the Republican Party, and he was forced to resign after he engaged in sexual activity inside the Virginia Beach office shared by the RNC and the state party. And then he posted photos of the encounter on Craigslist. Dude, he was manning down inside the offices, and then he posted the pictures of him getting plunged on Craigslist, bro. And he got fired, okay, by the Republican Party, dude. This was all the way back in 2016, guys, okay? Right? Then, of course, he was involved in the Stop the Steal lies, okay? Then he was promoting QAnon conspiracies. He's been involved with anti-Muslim groups. And, of course, he's, you know, big on the lies about 2020, right? But so this guy already has a history, dude, of, like, being a creep. Okay, yes, on Craigslist. Like, bro, dude, start an OnlyFans. No dance party? Yeah, we can do a dance party goal. Let's go. Let's go, baby. There it is. 30-30. Let's go. Let's get it. Pine Box. Isn't that nuts? So yeah, dude. He is a MAGA weirdo, guys. Super MAGA weirdo. But now he's like their guy.
Leader is incapable of passing said legislation by the end of April. I will be going to Louisiana to help defeat Senator Cassidy in the May 16th Saturday primary. And I will be heading to Texas to defeat John Cornyn and the May 26th Senate runoff.
See, just so you know, though, guys, this dude went to Wisconsin to defeat the Supreme Court justices. He goes to a lot of places to defeat people that don't get defeated. He went to Virginia to defeat Abigail Spanberger and Jay Jones, and he went to New Jersey to defeat 𝗙𝗍𝗍. Right? Dude, defeat are made for walking, my friend. Pine Box Dance Party LFG, let's go, Ella! Dude, homie, dude, the one, let's go, Paula! Let's go, there you go, buddy. Hey! Sakatara! Sakatara, Paula. Sakata. Sakatara. Dude, let's go. Speaking in tongues. All right, yo, homie. Hold on, we gotta polish the knob. Oh, there you go, Trumpy. Oh, thank you. I shit my pants. Dude, Steph, let's go. Sakatara. But... so, yeah, dude, what is going on with fucking Kayleigh McEnany, bro? Like, holy shit, dude. Dude, what's going on with her face, bro? Look at her. She is like she has stared into the eyes of the devil and just froze that way. Like Medusa walked through the Fox News studio. Dude, she is like, her head's gonna spin around, dude. Her head is gonna spin around. But anyway, so the thing that's really interesting about this is there was some controversy about him, guys, about him taking money, okay? There was some writing about him, okay, that he is a significant fraudster, okay? Where, you ready? Where he is taking a lot of money from the Republican Party, but he's not actually producing any results, okay? Here it is. The amount Scott Presler has grifted with early vote action, with millions going directly into his and his partner's pockets since 2023, has risen to nearly 11.5 million. Okay, so this guy has been working for a super PAC, going and like registering voters, going in and doing town halls or whatever, and he's not like winning races, but he is getting paid handsomely. He is making millions. Okay, these right-wing influencers, when you look at like Presler, you look at Eric Doherty, you look at Nick Sortor, Benny Johnson, Cam Higby, Nick Shirley, they're making millions, guys. Millions. Stop the stupidity. Let's go. And Laura Loomer too. And so this is part of their game, though, guys, that the Republicans with the evangelical billionaires, they have like endless amounts of money, plus endless amounts of money, dude, endless. So they are just throwing money at people. They're throwing huge cash, and you don't even have to believe in the cause. You just have to make the content. It's pretty crazy, but millions of fucking dollars, dude. Millions of dollars, boss. Right? Yeah, right. This guy was replying to fucking, right?
To this person, I make a promise right here and now. If Senate Majority Leader Thune does not pass the 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗪𝗑 Act, then I am going to Texas. Okay. Senate Majority Leader Thune wants to protect John Cornyn in the Senate, the incumbent. And the May 26th primary Senate runoff is coming up. So everybody in Texas, you have the opportunity.
Oh, everybody in Texas, Thune, if you don't pass the bill, I'm coming to Texas. You and me, we're going to go clubbing. Thune. Dude, he is such a queen, bro.
Like, isn't going to give us what we want, then we are going to take away what he has. And in Louisiana, you have Senator Cassidy, who is up for election on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026.
But yeah, he's just getting paid, dude. He's making millions doing this shit. And guys, he's not even good at this. You know what I'm saying? He is not even good at this, guys. He's not good. He's not converting voters. He's doing these tiny fucking town halls. He is very flamboyant. But guys, again, certain flamboyant, you can be flamboyant and be MAGA as long as you denigrate yourself. Like, right? That's all you got to do. So you gotta denigrate yourself. Yeah, no, he is very low energy. And let's be honest, okay? Dude, Baby Peach, let's go! Let's be honest. The Republicans, they don't love the flamboyant gays. They don't. Democrats do. Democrats can appreciate a flamboyant gay. They do. They celebrate it. We love that shit. The Republicans, they're not so much. Okay. I mean, they'll take pictures with him and shit because he's famous to them. And he is a Trump acolyte to the max. Dude, he would kiss it for Trump. Okay. So he is out there and he talks like he's this really powerful, important guy. He's probably telling these rubes at the gun shows and whatever that he's texting with Trump. Or he probably tells them, I was on the phone with Trump. Me and Trump were talking. I went golfing with Trump. And here's what Trump says. I bet he does. But they don't love his flamboyancy. Not at all. They in fact, they can never truly accept him. And they will never truly listen to him because of that. And that's why I think he's really ineffectual. But he is boring as shit, bro. It's dude, this guy has the personality. This guy has the personality of a fucking, a toilet seat cover, bro. It is really, dude, really? Come on, bro. Dude, you're killing me, boss. But tomorrow, guys, tomorrow is ground zero, boss. Virginia, okay? Virginia. This is going to be big, guys. Tomorrow's going to be our first sign, guys. Look at this, though. Oh, shit, bro. Oh, dude, look at that. This is the early vote total for the Virginia gerrymandering referendum. Dude, 63% Dem, 36% GOP. Early vote. Oh, I mean, they're going to have an elevated day of, but that's rough. Okay? That is rough. Okay? This person says, when you consider there will inevitably be some Dems who vote no, plus the likelihood that those swing voters are much more evenly split, can see this referendum passing 5 to 7 points. Yeah, I mean, dude, I think, guys, I will say this. I'm calling it now. I'm going to say a 12-point victory. Okay, Spanberger won by 15. I'm going to say it's going to be a 12-point Dem victory. That it's going to pass, and people realize, I think people realize that we really don't have a choice here. That, the difference between us getting rid of Trump in 2028 or us having to, flush him out of the bunker underneath the White House is going to be these midterms, right? We have two choices. Either win the midterms or have to flush Trump out of a bunker in 2028. But so yeah, right? This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, guys. Right? It's a big, again, I know it sounds crazy. Polymarket, let's see what Polymarket says. All right. 76% yes, dude. Dude, look at that. Oh, shit, bro. New Virginia congressional map used in the midterm. Oh, it's up to 82 now. Dude, people are tired? Yeah. No, guys, I think so. I think we are fucking tired, man. It's exhausting. It's let me just tell you, here is every day. You ready? Here's every day in the Trump ad, man. It's Trump, you know, says he's Jesus or totally insults somebody, okay, then he makes some major decision that gets people killed, and somebody in his admin profits like $500 million, and then you go to the grocery store and the thing you bought last week that was 16 ounces for $10 is now 12 ounces for $14. It costs $100 to fill your gas tank. And then everywhere you look, he's like talking about Joe Biden, and he's trying to dredge up the 2020 election. And he's saying Epstein is a hoax, and Russia's a hoax, and Iran is a hoax, and you're a hoax. Oh, you're not MAGA? You're a hoax. What? You live in a blue state? You're a hoax. Right? And then you watch, you know, your neighbor get gunned down by a masked ICE officer. And that's all before like 2 p.m., bro. And you're like, fuck, dude. I don't even want to go home. I just want to go curl up in a fucking fire pit at the beach and have somebody throw, you know, a $6 gallon of gas on me and light a match, bro. That is all of us, dude, where it's just like, Jesus, we're just done. Dude, we're just fucking done, bro. It is like 24/7 scandal, looting, name calling, fucking market manipulation, you know, blaming Joe Biden, telling us that the economy's doing great. And you ready for the kicker, guys? Even with the tariffs, okay? The tariffs have jacked our economy. They've caused the price of so much shit to go up. And then he lost in the Supreme Court. The tariffs got canceled, and they're refunding them. But you know where they're refunding them, guys? They're refunding them to the businesses. So the businesses paid the tariff, raised our prices, so we paid the tariff, and now the businesses are getting the tariff money back after raising the prices to offset the tariffs. So they paid the tariff, raised the prices, we paid the tariff, and they have profit. Now they get a tariff rebate, and they're going to jack the prices again on us. And so the businesses are literally getting extra money because of the tariffs being overruled, and we're getting soaked, boss. We're getting plunged, okay? And yeah, dude, and Lutnick's sons are like going crazy. The guys, you see this? Look at this shit, okay? The Lutnick's sons, right, had a record year, okay? The firm posted revenue of $2.5 billion. So Lutnick takes his kids to Epstein Island, lies about it, is in business with Epstein, lies about it, gets a cabinet position. His kids are just getting rich with government contracts and other deals. You know, he left 𝗙𝗎𝗄 for his kids, and they're just looting us, dude. They are absolutely looting us, guys. Look at this shit. Right here. Commerce Secretary, right? Lutnick's sons could be making 3 to 5x returns on every dollar they spent buying tariff refund rights. Okay? So what they did was they bought the rights to the tariff refunds on the cheap, and then they're going to cash them in. But like, dude, it's like Lutnick was the one who established the tariffs. Okay? 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗃, run by his sons, was buying tariff refund claims from companies at 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. The firm told clients it had capacity to trade up to several hundred million in these claims. They confirmed at least one $10 million trade was already executed back in July of 2025. Okay, today those claims are worth 100 cents on the dollar, right? Now that these refunds are being processed. So if they bought 100 million at 25 cents on the dollar, they're about to make 75 million for just holding on to these things. Okay? Isn't that crazy? And Lutnick was the one who created the tariff policy. So Lutnick created this tariff policy, and then his kids went around buying tariff rebate coupons on cheap, okay? Because, right? you know, because there was no guarantee that the tariffs were ever going to get rebated. So it was like they're buying them. The companies were making a little bit of money selling off the refund thing, selling off the refund fucking, right? Now the refund portal is live. Okay. The refund claims. Isn't that crazy? And all of this is tax-free under government rules, right? Right? Oh, no. Never mind. The tax-free was him leaving Cantor Fitzgerald to his sons. So what he did was he left Cantor Fitzgerald to his kids. Then he created this tariff policy. Then his kids at Cantor Fitzgerald went up and bought all the tariff rebate coupons. And now that the rebates are getting refunded, they're going to go cash in, right? And Don and Eric are doing the same thing. Don Jr. and Eric are doing it with drones. And Jared Kushner is taking billions in the Middle East. I mean, all of these guys are just scoundreling, okay? Isn't that crazy? And meanwhile, they were at Epstein Island. Bro, they're laughing at us. Dude, they're laughing at us, right? They're doing it right in front of us. Literally right in front of us. Meanwhile, we're paying the same amount of, you know, for a 10-ounce can of coffee that was 16 ounces a year ago. And now it's 10 and the same price. Dude, we are done, but we still look good. Fuck them all. Let's go watch more. Good to see you, Jake. All right, guys. Dude, we need 19. 10 minutes, baby. Fuck you, Lutnick. You clown. Get fucking shit on, bro. There we go. Whoopsie daisy. All right. Dude, we got 10 minutes for 19. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing the same shit. They're going to saddle the U.S. with debt. All need to be prosecuted. Follow the money. Let's go. Thank you, Shelley. Yeah, they're probably gonna saddle the fucking the company. They're gonna saddle the country with debt. I bet, like they do all the other businesses. Okay, the U.S. national debt is gonna fucking get exorbitant, and they're gonna pull all the money out. They're gonna like load up on government contracts. Dude, Ella, let's go. Thank you, Ella. Dude. Yeah, the end game hopefully is going to be a prison cell with Bubba. Dude, Boot Boy, looks like 10 billion settlement is closer in reality between Trump and DOJ. 10 billion of taxpayer theft. Yeah, no, that's another one too, guys, where Trump is like having his DOJ negotiate a $10 billion payout to Trump. So he's becoming president, and then he's like, oh, they wrongfully arrested me for that classified information, which they didn't, and he's about to take 10 billion for himself, dude. Taxpayer money. Bro, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, I mean, I don't want to be morbid, but I really can't, I can't help but think that like we gotta be thinking about France at this point. Dude, stop stupidity. Let's go. We must think about our friends in France. Okay? It's done the most clear and biggest grift ever that he does with that 10 billion. Who signs the check? Yeah, no, I know. It's like, it wasn't even a lawsuit. He never even went to court. He just filed a claim basically, with the DOJ, and the DOJ is like, yeah, the government should pay this claim. Dude, like, I mean, vive les France, okay? Vive les France, right? Let's go. 14, guys, 14 away. Dude, we're gonna finish the dance party goal with our little friend Gully over here. Gully. Crazy. Yeah, that thing is a con, dude. Dude, stop stupidity. Let's go. Dude, we're going to need about 20 of these things. Sand cedar. Dude, sand. Good old sand cedar. Dude. Oh. Good old sand cedar. All right. Well, let's go, baby. Blunt front. Let's go. Oh, my God. So can I just tell you, right? So today, dude, right, there was somebody, I got to show you this funny tweet, okay? Because I tweeted today, there was a tweet that went on today, guys, where it was the Delaware, the Maryland fucking shop, okay? You ready? Look at this shit. All right, is this. So the Maryland shop right here, right? Jimmy's Famous Seafood, right? Said, you know, they posted a thing that said, you need valid ID to enter our bar. This isn't a voting booth, okay? This is obviously the Trump, you know, whatever. It's a nod to the Trump people, to the SAVE Act. Oh, you can vote without ID, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Whatever. Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And I was like, you know, a D-sucker alert. You guys, your bar is like inbred. But like, look at this. So this woman, right? This woman gets in here. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find her tweet. She says, Marxist, commie, racist, bigoted cuck who thinks women and minorities are too fucking stupid to function normally in society. You are exactly what you profess to hate. Take a long look at the inbred you are in the mirror. All right. I mean, you know, it's a little weak because she's just calling me a bunch of names, but they're not like targeted. There's no such thing as a Marxist, commie, racist, bigoted cuck. I mean, you know, but whatever. And then look at this. This guy said, define commie. And she said, Chinese CCP Politburo members. Dude, like, what are we doing, dude? But wait, guys, it gets better, right? Chinese CCP Politburo members. Dude, like she's just been, she got all of this from a Facebook post, right? Ma'am, this is fucking Jack in the Box. This is not the Politburo. She used all the buzzwords. Yes, dude, racist, communist, fascist, Marxist. But wait, guys, it gets better, okay? Because this guy said, no, define what a commie is. What makes a person a commie? After you go on Google and look up what a definition of a commie is, come back and explain what makes political punk a commie. I will wait, dude. And then they say the fact he is an Antifa member. Guys, they said Antifa member because of my bio, okay, where it says assistant to the assistant regional manager at Antifa. TM, dude. She's like, he is an Antifa member. I don't need to explain shit to you. He wants a fucking socialist Politburo running shit, telling me what I can say and do and make and live, or he's going to beat me up with his Marxist 𝗍𝗪𝗪𝗀 And I'm like, dude, Antifa doesn't exist. That line in my bio is a quote from The Office, to which I added Antifa because it outs all of you morons. I'm like, dude, and then she blocked me, right? Dude, after she got burned, dude, oh my God, dude, she blocked me. Isn't that funny? Like, bro, look at that, dude. Her bio is mom, conservative, and second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Dude, the happy person often walks unshaken along the path that 1,000 unhappy people insist is wrong. Dude, And you know what's wild about it, guys? Is you may have noticed, all right, dude, hold on. We got 2:45. Dude, we got to secure the dance party. We need 10 more. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back to that crazy person in a minute, but we need 10 more. Let's go. We got this. Dude, Endgrain, oh man, this is amazing. It is indeed, boss. Dude, let's go. Fascist, communist, Marxist, socialist. I'm a socialist, Marxist, communist, fascist. One front, let's go. No, wait. No. I'm a socialist, fascist, Marxist, communist. I used to be a communist, Marxist, socialist, fascist, but then I decided to switch that because I didn't like being a communist, socialist, Marxist, fascist. So I became a communist, fascist, Marxist, socialist. Dude, let's go. Steph sells stuff by the seashore. Let's go, Steph. Thank you, boss. Dude, Boot Boy, let's go, baby. Thank you, boss. Dude, Ella laughs in commie. Let's go. Dude, 145, guys. 6 away. We're 6 away. We got this. 6 away. Let's go. 6 away and 145. Dude, somebody, I think maybe it was Steph. I think somebody, I saw a comment from you under one of the YouTube videos. I think it was Steph who said you were so glad you found this channel that like you laugh and you just feel better about things. And if that was you, Steph, I'm glad you're here. And everybody who's laughing, I know we got to laugh, dude. We got to laugh, dude. Let's fucking go. Watch bar. Let's go, baby. Thank you, Jake. All right, guys. 5 more, 4 more. Victor Hirschman coming in hot. Let's go. Dude, Ella, I want to speak to the assistant Yes. Dude, I want to speak to the manager of the assistant to the assistant manager. Dude, stop stupidity. Let's go. You said I'm an asshole. I can be an asshole when required. Dude, Petrozzi, let's go. Dude, Tara, let's go. There it is, dude. The goal is complete. Oh, shit, dude. We did that with bells on, dude. Sky, a pine-scented plastic bag, LFG. Let's fucking go, dude. Steph, let's go. Oh! Oh, and not to be outdone. Hey! Sakatara. Dude, sakatara, dude. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Dude, feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good? Dude. Sakatara, dude. Dude, nobody, and let me just tell you guys, nobody can sakatara like Paula White can sakatara. And I have that on good information that her tongues speaking in sakatara is like top tier, boss. I want to speak to your manager. Let's go, Shelly. Dude, they want to speak to all of our managers, boss. Oh my God. Isn't that funny though? And then, dude, mom, conservative, and 2nd degree black belt. Now, what's funny about it, guys, is this, okay? I did go to her Twitch, and her Twitch was like really boring. She has no followers. She's not engaging, right? She needs to not be an online content creator because she has no personality. But I will say this, though, that this line here, the happy person often walks unshaken along the path that 1,000 unhappy people insist is wrong. So this is a core tenet of MAGA, is they have somehow ensconced themselves in this belief that if people call you names and if people say you're wrong and bad, that means you're doing it right, okay? So that's what they tell themselves. If everybody tells you you're wrong, that means you're right. And that is what is wild, is they have like, no, the fact that you're telling me I'm wrong means that I'm right. So then they just do shit that gets everyone to tell them they're wrong all the time. They do this really outrageous, over-the-top shit. And they're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I just set your house on fire. Is that wrong? Oh, yeah, no, it's wrong. Oh, that means I'm doing it right. And it's like, but they never stop to figure like, like they're all telling us we're wrong. So if that's the only litmus test, by their very reasoning, the fact that they all say that transgender people are wrong means transgender people are right? You know, it's like, hello. I mean, you got to make up your goddamn mind, guys. You know, are you going to have any brains involved in this transaction? Or is this transaction merely going to be you sniffing your own fucking ass crack and thinking you found the rose garden? Like, wow, dude. It is just mind melding. It is mind melding. Now, I did get into it with the new Riley Gaines. Okay, I'm going to show you another tweet because of this. Let me just show you. I know Ella spoke with this person, but it was here. I'll find it. I'll find it in this probably. Or no, I'll find it in my replies. Okay. But so there's a person who's trying to be the new Riley Gaines. Okay. It's this person right here. Okay. She's another Riley lookalike, right? A blonde, you know, lip gloss, a lot of makeup, her shiny face. Okay. But here she says,
people have been saying that I'm too young to have my own opinion and that I don't really understand what I'm talking about. And that's been really hard to hear. Especially when those same people are spreading things about me and my mom that just aren't true. But it really hurts to see people go after my mom because she didn't push me to do any of this.
All right, so she's like, whatever, but here's what she says. She's basically in Wisconsin. She is creating a big deal about transgender students and what bathroom they use. That's what it is. She's trying to become the high school Riley Gaines, who will then maybe end up on Fox News. It's the same old shit where you're I'm going to be the person who speaks up and says transgender people shouldn't be able to use the bathroom and blah, blah, blah. And here's what she said. She says, it's weird that adult teachers and staff are hating on me on social media. Teachers always say that everyone has the right to their own beliefs. I believe that too. I also think that facts are facts. Boys can't simply choose to become girls and expect to take away our rights. Now, first off, a transgender person is not taking away any of her rights, okay? A transgender person is not taking away her rights to, you know, get an abortion or her right to get married or her right to go to college or her right to, you know, speak up, right? Transgender people are not affecting their rights at all, okay? Not at all. And I said, you don't get to have a belief that says people don't exist. Okay, like you're ignorant and bland, but like you're real. I don't get to say that you're not real because I don't like you or because you're ignorant and bland or because I find you offensive. You're real. I can see you there. You exist. Okay, so I can have a belief about how I feel about you, but I can't deny that you actually exist. Okay, so you don't get to deny that like transgender people exist just because they make you uncomfortable. Okay. Now, if you want to meet transgender people in the middle and try and figure out how they can be taken care of and you can be taken care of and like you hammer out some kind of compromise, I think everybody would be open to that, to sit at a table, but they don't want to do that. They want to say that you can't be trans, that if you're trans, you're like mentally ill, you're wrong, you don't exist, it's all made up, blah, 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 blah. So they don't just have a belief of how they feel about trans people. They have a belief about the transgender existence, which is stupid because transgender people existed long before their Bible was even around. Okay. Now, what's interesting is somebody says here, refusing to validate someone's delusion is very obviously not the same as saying they do not exist. This is a deliberate false equivalency. And I'm like, dude, if anyone is deluded, okay, it's the people who think that like there's an overlord that is going to toss you into an eternal furnace if you don't like worship them correctly. Okay. The people that are believing in an unseeable entity and they're willing to like kill for it and right. And they're convinced that even if you don't believe in it, it has power over you and they're going to go pray for you and all that. And they're avoiding the eternal hellfire. Those are the people that want to tell us about like delusion. And it's like, yo, you know, if anybody is deluded, it's the people that are literally making up a creator of the universe so they can somehow like have more power and tell us all that like their way is the right way because they're operating on behalf of my creator that they've never met, by mind you, and they can't produce anywhere. You know, they can just show me a book that's been altered and modified, you know, 50,000 times over 1,000 years. That was cobbled together from several thousand years of oral stories handed down from various parts of the world. It's like, yo, dude, like, homie, you know, don't talk to me about delusion, right? You know, don't talk to me about delusion, please. Okay? But yes, this is the new Riley Gaines. And what's more, guys, okay, hold on. It gets better, too, because, give me one sec here. Because a while back, I made this video about Scarlett Johnson. Okay, she's a Moms for Liberty woman from Wisconsin. Okay, that was a candidate, right? It says a Moms for Liberty candidate thought she could bully her way through another school race. Okay, and then I exposed her, and then she got into it and went off unhinged on me and had a meltdown. Okay, Scarlett Johnson is her name. So Scarlett Johnson is now championing this woman, dude. Right? Oh my, you can't make this shit up, right? There she is, okay? I think that's her. Hold on. No, there she is. Yeah, there she is. Sorry. Scarlet for Kids. That's her name, Scarlet for Kids. Okay, so this woman is now championing that person, okay? This person is like, right, she's already on Fox News, Fight to Protect Girls Sports. She's on Fox News. Look at that. The haters are coming after 16-year-old Ella, the young Wisconsin girl leading the fight to attack transgender people, okay? Show her some support. She opened an account, right? And now she's trying to be the new Riley Gaines, okay? And she is going to be Riley Gaines number 2. She's already on Fox, right? But so this woman is like a Moms for Liberty. She has a podcast called Moms for Liberty Unleashed, okay? And dude, they're all fucking crazy. I mean, I did get in here. I did leave a comment in here somewhere. I mean, she left like 10 fucking comments. Right? She was responding to all the anti-trans people. But I did leave a comment in there where I was like, oh my God, you're back. Right? You're back. All right. So anyway, there you go. There it is, boss. It is more of the same, guys. Now, again, it's like, you know, we should simply, right? We should simply just, you know, be able to have some discussions about like how we can incorporate people's existence. Okay? That is, you know, it's like it's not rocket science, guys. You know what I'm saying? It is not rocket science to like come to the table and figure out like, okay, how do we, right? Like in their eyes, oh, you want to take everything. And it's like, no, people just want to be able to exist without being harassed. They want to be able to use the bathroom without being harassed. They want to be able to get their hormones, access to medical care, to be able to hold a job without somebody coming in and creating some issue because they don't like, you know, the look of their server or their cashier, okay? And that's really what goes on is like if you've ever spoken to any transgender people, they get a job And then some right winger comes into the business and is like, oh, I don't like the way they talk to me. And it's like all they did was say hi, right? It's like, no, you don't like the fact that they're transgender and you are now creating some fucking, chaos over it. Okay. And they just create scenes and they just have issues or they want to take your picture in the bathroom. And then it goes beyond that. Because then what happens is like now we've gotten into the advanced stage where now it's not even just affecting transgender people. Now, because of the trans panic and because of these idiots always thinking they know who's trans and who's not, any woman who is like gone through menopause or any woman that has a little extra facial hair is potentially going to be under attack by these people because they're going to insist that, cisgendered women are trans because they're presenting in a way that they don't fucking, approve of, and it's like really, it's shitty, boss. Is it still, it's in woke ass Colorado, it's still nearly impossible. See, here in Portland, it's like, it's doable. In the city of Portland, that is one thing that we're pretty lucky about. Like there's a transgender cashier, a grocery store I go to, and there is a transgender woman who works at one of the movie theaters we go to. And so I feel good about being in Portland like that. There's a little like safe spot, albeit it has to be like sort of in the city. But I bet they still go through shit, though, every time somebody from the fucking suburbs show up. You know what I mean? Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, guys. It's so dumb. But that's all they have. That's it. They don't have any policies except like, our rights are being taken away. And it's like, no, what right are the women losing? You know what I'm saying? Your doctor is trans? That's amazing. I love it. Dude, it's so dumb. Okay? It is so dumb. But, all right. I digress, though. Let's move on. All right? We're fucking cruising through. We're banging shit out. Let's look at some stuff that's going to be entertaining. And I want to look at the Joe Rogan, okay? And I want to look at the Zorro Ranch. I want to watch that NBC video about Zorro Ranch, right? And the first trans person was Jewish? No, dude, Uncommon, no offense, but you're an idiot. The first trans people were all the way back in fucking Polynesia, like thousands of years ago. Dude. I mean, dude, and I can tell that you're a fucking weirdo, right? And you're getting the boot, all right? I hope you enjoyed your, moment of fucking being here, but Jesus. Dude, yeah, the first trans people were all the way back in Polynesia. There was a third gender. This is like thousands of years ago, guys. This is well before there was ever anybody knew there was a Bible, okay? And in the Polynesian culture, you go to Hawaii, you go to Tahiti, you go to New Zealand, you can ask, and they'll tell you about it. They had a third gender, and they revered the third gender people. It was somebody that was like both man and woman, which is ironically, if you're a Christian, that's what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say they are male or female. It says they are male and female, okay? Right? And so there was a third gender, though, in Polynesian culture that was anything that was like in between, okay? It was anything that was in between. It was like, so it would be, it could be like a woman in a man's body or a man in a woman's body. But in those early cultures, they were revered as like special and knowing and you know, and not looked at all as like, ooh, like, right? It was like a miracle for them. And the natives had the two spirit. And then if you go in India, there were the Hijras, okay? And then the Oaxacans, okay? There are just so many all over on every continent. There have been communities that were transgender that were like long before the fucking Bible existed. And so it's always been there, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's always been there. And that's what is so infuriating about this is like the you know, it's like the climate change thing, okay? That the climate change thing is like the people that believe in the Bible want to like ignore the physical reality they live in because no, I'm sorry. You like what you're saying doesn't fit into this book that I like. This book is my reality, not the physical world I live in. And it's like, yo, that's like such a burnout. Okay. It's cool that I know this stuff, even though I'm not trans myself. Thank you, 𝗙cie. I mean, I like learning about stuff. People are really fucking, you know what I'm saying? People are really intriguing, you know? Dude, there's intersex people. Yeah, there's so many. And then there are also though people that like, you know, like my son, he dabbles in the non-binary world, but it's not like with him and the people he hangs out with, it's not like he wasn't born like in a different body or anything like that. He wasn't born in, you know, he's just a regular guy, but he doesn't like the way gender roles are, okay? He doesn't like the way society treats gender roles. So sometimes he just opts out of that and occupies a space that is not about like fitting into the gender roles, right? And yes, it is a rejection. Exactly. It's a rejection of the social, you know, apparatus. And dude, I respect that too. Okay. I do, because like for me, I never did that with gender. Okay. But I definitely did that with like capitalism and the social norms. I did it with, you know, in college when I sort of dropped out of like the way I was socialized to get a business degree, to get a degree. I went into the rock and roll world. I was a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of choices to live outside the realm of what is considered normal and okay. But I made those choices like purposefully because I didn't want to be part of the straight world. I didn't want to be a part of the culture. And I did certain gender bending things though, where I wore a lot of women's clothing. Okay. I wore like deep V'd women's shirts and I've definitely worn dresses and shit on stage. And I've worn like women's leggings and shit like that. So I've definitely done the clothing thing or the women's shirts that button the wrong way, right? The wrong way, button a different way than the men's ones. I've definitely mixed it up with that kind of shit, you know, as a choice to just not be limited by the social like rules that were like supposedly supposed to apply to me. And now him though, like he doesn't really do it. He does it a little bit with the dress. He'll wear like girls' jeans that are embroidered and shit like that, right? So he does it a little bit with the dress, but for him, it's more about the you know, the identity of what it means to be a man and shit like that. And dude, I think that stuff is great. I think like these conformist rules on who we can and can't be or who we are pretty stupid. Okay. They are. They're pretty stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's really interesting because I just want to briefly revisit that conversation that we all remember how we had a good laugh with the woman who was like, who blocked me, right? We just had that really good laugh about that woman, right? Let me find the fucking tweet here, okay? So one of the things that's really interesting about that is in that discussion, okay? Let me find it. It's back here. We're going to bring this around full circle, okay? But in that discussion, somebody was talking about, Now I hold on. Let me find it. I have to go back. Let me get the tweet. I have to go into my history real quick. Where are ya? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, in this discussion, okay, you see this guy? He's called the lunatic left janitor. All right. So he was in an argument with somebody in my replies, and there was somebody who was attacking him for being a janitor. Okay? Right? And I can't remember, I can't find the thing, but whatever. The point stands. So there was somebody in there who was looking at his screen name and basically saying, you're just a janitor. You don't make more than like $45,000 a year or whatever. And the person was like, no, I'm in a union. I work at a college. I make like 70 grand a year. And if our overtime didn't get, like cut out because of the Trump shit, I would be making over 100K. But like this person in the replies was talking down to this guy as though him being a unionized janitor at a college was like this horrible, like low grade thing. Oh, you don't make enough money. Your job is so bad. But like, guys, if there weren't any janitors, like everywhere we went would be disgusting. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like every time you go to an amusement park or a library or a bathroom at a movie theater, or you go into an office building, or you go anywhere, a college, a high school, the reason why you walk in there and it fucking looks good is because a bunch of people do that job and they care enough to like do that job well. Like our whole world is like appealing and clean and fucking like aesthetically has value because of fucking janitors. And so realistically, their work affects our mood and our day-to-day enjoyment of the world around us like everywhere we fucking go. Everywhere. And yet that person was like shitting on them. And it's like, dude, you don't even stop to think about what your world would look like. How it would look like a West Virginia homeless encampment everywhere you went if it wasn't for people doing that fucking job. And so, like, it just amazes me how these right-wing, supposedly Christian shitters will walk around and they're so thoughtless in the way they interact with every human being, right? They do the same with immigrants, where they're like, oh, they decry all those immigrants, but then they don't sit down at the table when they're eating like raspberries and realize if it wasn't for these fucking immigrants working really hard out in dusty ass fields in 110-degree heat, they wouldn't have any goddamn raspberries on their table, right? Or that chicken breast they just fucking cooked, it got deboned by, a 17-year-old immigrant. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't even think about how these people are doing these like incredibly powerful services for us, okay? That everybody is like important. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so fucking discouraging to me that they walk around and they act like their raspberries just fell out of the goddamn sky. Or they act like the office building they walked into just self-vacuumed the minute they left at night, that the doors closed and it just flushed with water and was sparkly clean the next day. And it's like, God, you people, you're exhausting. You know what I'm saying? They're exhausting. God. Dad. All right? There you go. Dude, I know the country is full of these people, bro. We chuckle so we don't buckle. Let's go. Dude, the coconut tree. Oh, shit, boss. Dude, I was talking shit about capitalism, and somebody got in my replies and said, like, a 1%er, like mega rich person on a yacht doesn't affect your life at all. And I was like, really? I was like, you honestly believe that? I'm like, dude, like some of those people paid like $200, $300 million to buy a president. Like there's a school full of girls in Iran that are dead because a billionaire from a yacht bought a president, right? They buy a social media network and change all of our lives. Okay. They buy politicians and change all of our lives. Our gas is fucking $6 a gallon because some people on yachts purchased a president. They threatened to, to primary the entire US government. And like, really? And that's independent of what they do monetarily. Okay. When they extract money, when they like sold off all their crypto, so they have billions. So my crypto is like value cut in half, right? Or when they crash the banks or they buy up all the houses, they literally, everything in our life is affected by those 1%ers. Everything. The cost of our goods, the cost of our housing, all of it. Sometimes whether life or death or whether, how much we pay for crucial services is all determined on their behavior, okay? And that's beside the fact that they're extracting all the wealth out of everything and making it so millions of people just can't possess any wealth. Dude, it's crazy. It is crazy. And because all of their stuff gets handed down in their same class, it's like a ruse because their wealth is growing so fast. So if you buy like a $15 million home, you're going to sell it for 30, right? That's just how it goes, because there's only so many people that can buy those homes and they're always ever increasing and it just always gets purchased by a richer person. It's crazy. And then when you think about it generationally is where it really gets mind-blowing. California is a classic example, okay? Every family that bought a house in California before 1980 is now a multimillionaire, okay? If your family bought a house in 1970 in Los Angeles, when that house was like $100,000, that house is selling for $2.5 million now, minimum, no matter how tiny that house is. Everybody who owned property before Ronald Reagan in California essentially is a millionaire now, a multimillionaire. And if you didn't own property before 1980 in California, you probably can't buy property there ever, okay? And New York, San Francisco, Miami, every major city is like that. You know what I'm saying? Every major city. It's insane. It really is, guys. It's crazy. And that's a generational thing. So anybody who had a family that owned a house in the 50s, 60s, or 70s, all of those families have like a tremendous amount of wealth, And people that are being born now, if their families didn't own shit back then, they don't have any wealth. Nothing has been passed down. They've been passing down nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's like my family. I'm a working class family. Okay. My mom and dad both died, and the wealth that they passed down to me after they passed on was a combined total of $21,000. Now, I'm not complaining. That $21,000, I lived on that. I paid my car payment and my minimum payments on my credit cards for 2 years on that money. And that's how I built the Political Punk channel when I quit gaming and I had no income. That $21,000 is how I did this. So my mom gave me this, leaving me 21 grand. Okay, but that's it. That's all that they left me. Okay, that was all that my parents had for me when that got passed down, right? And they got nothing from their parents. Okay, so we don't have any like my family doesn't have any generational wealth. Okay, none. Like $0, right? Well, $21,000. Okay, but that is like, there's a lot of people that are in that boat. Okay, do you know what I mean? And now I'm gonna try to do it hopefully a little different with Bryce. Okay, and hopefully I'll be able to leave him a little something more, like build something. But that is, I mean, that is not entirely, like, a lot of that has to do, some of that is my parents grappling with their own alcoholism, having too many kids, not, they didn't have good homes. They were very traumatized, so they never got, to college or got good jobs. So some of it was decision making they had, but some of it was just how they were born. Okay, they were born into deeply alcoholic, like poor families, and they spent their life just trying to keep their head above water. Okay, and they did the right thing. They had kids, they had a family, but they got screwed by Ronald Reagan, like big time. They were very hard workers. They were very hard workers, and you know what else though they were, guys, is they would help anyone, guys. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like if I had a friend that was getting kicked out of the house, they would take them in, right? If they knew somebody that needed, people would come to California to try and get established from Wisconsin. My parents would let them just live on their couch for months while they got established. Like, they would help anybody. Okay, they kept the refrigerator stocked. My friends would come over and eat and drink and hang out. And my parents were like, they were not at all judgmental. Okay, they would rally behind anyone. You brought somebody home and they would rally behind them. There was never an instance of like, oh, we don't like who you brought home, right? They would rally behind everybody and to a fault. You know what I'm saying? But they were, and that does matter. I mean, it taught me how to build a community. I mean, they were actually really good at building a community. Okay, that's one thing. Like, we would move, right? Every couple of years, we'd move from Wisconsin to California. But every time we came to California, man, we would move out here. My dad would move first, and we would move out here. And my dad would have he would have made friends, and the friends would have a kid my age, and like, I'd fucking like move to this new state and there's already somebody to fucking play with and shit. My dad already had this little community like ready to go. You know what I mean? I mean, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Definitely not rugged individualists. Okay, they were about community always, and they were always like, working at, or hanging out at like VFW halls and shit like that. And like, like gave money to the VFW and helping veterans and shit like that. And then eventually my mom got a weekend job working at this Toluca Lake golf course. And, she was like, she loved it because like Sylvester Stallone golfed there and all these other Hollywood people. And so she got to hang out like every weekend and get balls for Sylvester Stallone and shit, right? So she was like living out her dream of you know, hanging out with movie stars and shit. And she was the really friendly, you know, personable woman at that cashiered the golf course. Right. But like, dude, no wealth. Okay. No wealth. You know what I mean? I mean, a different kind of wealth. Okay. Because that is a type of wealth too. Okay. It's Marxist, communist, socialist, fascist. That's what they were, right? They were communist, Marxist, socialist, fascist. Dude. Oh shit. But yeah, man. Pretty wild, huh? All right. Moving on, dude. You ready? Let's go. Rogan. You ask your grandparents for $1, they'd make you wish that you were never born. Yeah, well, you know what made me think about this shit, guys? Was, believe it or not, it was this Steven Crowder post, okay? Right? Because you know Crowder is a piece of shit. But like, look at this, okay? Look at what this dork says. He says, genuine question. What exactly is pro-American about the Obama/Mamdani worldview? First off, for him to lump Obama and Mamdani together, they're not like, those two guys are not the same, okay? I mean, they have some similarities, but he's like lumping Obama and Mamdani together is like, it feels a little disingenuous, right? But look at what he says here. He says they praise Canada and the anti-American nations of Europe. They don't like the U.S. having rugged individualism. They hate home ownership and property rights. But they don't hate home ownership or property rights. They don't hate that at all. They don't like using genocide to acquire property. Okay? I mean, which is like, can you blame them? But this, guys, the U.S. having rugged individualism. Dude, rugged individualism, guys, is stupid. Okay? It is stupid. That's the whole point of having a society. You have societies and you live in cities and towns so you don't have to have rugged individualism. Okay? When you lived on the prairie and you had to build your own cabin and you didn't even have a job because your entire world was simply growing your food, harvesting your food, growing livestock, killing the livestock for food, building your cabin, repairing your cabin, keeping your cabin from disappearing when it rained. That was rugged individualism. Okay? Rugged individualism existed like in the 1700s. Okay? But like, dude, there's no point in having rugged individualism now in a global fucking world. Like, there's a community. I mean, who the fuck wants rugged individualism? It's stupid, right? I mean, nobody raises a family based on rugged individualism. You don't have a kid, and when he's like 3 years old, you say, all right, sorry, buddy, you're going to have to learn how to cook. You're going to have to learn how to, like, wash your own clothes there, buddy. You're going to have to figure out how to get to school. All right, little man, because we have rugged individualism around here. Dude, why would you do that? That's stupid. Yeah, and look at this guy. Dude, this guy is about as rugged as a fucking blocking dummy made out of toilet paper, boss. Look at him, dude. Dude, he is as, you know, I mean, as I said to him, I said, there's a global community, you wife-beating closeted a-hole. Right? I mean, dude, you know? Dude, rugged. It's just so dumb, right? Like the concept of rugged individualism. It's such a stupid concept. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you not want to benefit from being a part of a community and reaping the benefits of the social contract that you engage in by participating in community? You know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Why would you want rugged individualism? It's dumb. And what's more though is like that rugged individualism, like most of the time, it's not happening. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like even these right-wing content creators, they're not rugged individualists. They're all getting paychecks from like dark money groups and from evangelical billionaires and from super PACs. Right? They have like, they're not rugged individualists. They're all getting paid like multiple streams of income. And right? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Dude, yeah, and nobody on the left hates home ownership or property rights, okay? You know, nobody on the left hates that. Everybody wants it to be more affordable and more available. But yeah, isn't that wild? Dude, let's watch the clip.
Look, here's the thing. They just say, oh, the greatest in American history. We need to define what that is. American. They're fundamentally un-American. And I'm not talking about the birth certificate. They hate everything that the United States is. For more proof, look at how they praise Canada, the anti-American nations of Europe, and tell us to be more like them.
Dude, anti-American nations in Europe. I'm not really seeing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really seeing that. And like praising Canada, what's wrong with praising your neighbors? Dude, don't you want to like your neighbors? Shouldn't we praise Canada and praise Mexico? Dude, I like my neighbors. When I go out, my neighbor, she's got her dog outside. I go and talk to her. I like her. If like she needs help with something, I do. I offer my time to my neighbors, dude. We do. We all do. Right? Like, of course we do. I love my neighbors. I like liking my neighbors. That's the whole point, right? I mean, it sucks if you have a neighbor that you guys hate each other. We did have one behind us that we didn't like, but that guy sold his house too. He was an asshole and he sold his house. And like now we have good neighbors back there. But the thing is we made an effort. We make an effort with our neighbors. Okay. I do. I always have. I've always tried to make an effort, you know, but this guy, oh, we hate America. Like, no, we don't, dude. People on the left don't hate America. Okay. We do not. We love America. Okay, we like the Constitution. We'd like to modify some shit, make America better, but we like the Constitution. We believe in all the amendments. We support them. We want freedoms. We want everybody in America. We like all of America, right? The LGBTQ, the black, the brown, the white, the in-between, the every different gender. We love it all, okay? If anything, the right-wingers have a pretty narrow idea of what America is. They don't like Muslim Americans or trans Americans or LGBTQ Americans or immigrant Americans or Americans who speak Spanish or Americans who speak Swahili, right? They don't like Haitians. They don't like, people whose food smells funny, or they don't like people if they dress differently, or they don't like people with colored hair. Okay. They don't like people that are, like interpret Christianity different than them. I mean, dude, you're hard pressed to find much of America that the right wing does like. Okay. What they even consider. I mean, we even have Riley Gaines. You ready? Hold on. Here you go, guys. I had to go to Riley. We knew we would end up on Riley at some point, but you ready? I mean, they are so not in love with America that Riley Gaines had the nerve.
My husband is a legal immigrant. He came to the United States.
Had the nerve to look at what she says to Brian Tyler Cohen here. Watch this.
It's from England back in 2018. He did everything the right way. I would describe my husband, I guess fully Brit, although now has his green card in the process for citizenship. I would describe him as more American than a lot of Americans who are currently citizens. He loves this country. He understands the freedoms that we have. He sees the trajectory of England, quite frankly. He is so grateful to be here.
More American.
To your point, I do think our legal immigration system certainly needs reform. I think that process needs to be sped up and made more efficient. But my husband, he respects ICE officers.
I don't understand what is with this conservative movement to qualify somebody's Americanness. Who are you to say that somebody is more or less American because of their adherence to certain political issues? Isn't that inherently un-American?
I guess my question for you is then just that: what is an American?
Dude, that's how much they love America. Where they walk around and say, my question for you is, what is an American? Dude. Oh, it's a white person with bleached blonde hair and dark roots who says they love ice and fucking, right? And every time they like have sex, they're ashamed of themselves and they go like fucking do 5,000 Hail Marys and shit and flog themselves with a will-o-wisp in the backyard. Dude, like what a stupid question, right? If you love America, you don't walk around asking people like, what is an American, man? Dude, the dumbest question I have ever heard in my entire life, bro. Like these people, dude, give me a break, dude. Isn't that wild? And they call us un-American, right? Like we're un-American. Why? Because we don't walk around asking people what makes an American. Define American, right? Oh shit, dude. Yo, homie, this is like, I'm just having a cup of coffee here, bro. I don't know what you're like, if you're writing a term paper or if you don't know like who you are, whatever, but can you leave me out of it, dude? Dude, Jesus, bro. What is an American?
You.
It's whatever you want to be. We have freedom to do, to believe in, to say, to practice whatever religion we want to. And so
she says that doesn't suffice to be whoever you want. No, you gotta have a definition. An American is somebody who likes ice, loves the military, licks Donald Trump's fucking pussy asshole, right? Dude. Dude, she is... I find Riley Gaines to be like one of the more offensive content creators. Like I just look at her and I mean, she's always going to look like Jay Leno with a wig on. I don't know if you get that too, but when I look at her, dude, she is like Jay Leno with a wig and who is like jacked up on Adderall, like really big eyes, dude. Right? Jay Leno with a wig, dude, and you know, 5,000 milligrams of Adderall, dude. Yo, Riley! Oh, yeah, hey, Jesus loves you. Dude. Oh, shit. Oh. All right. You ready? Let's go. We're going to what's his fuck, bro? Dude, Joe Rogan. All right, let's look at Rogan. Dude, somebody put a clip because we didn't get to look at this the other day. But this is Rogan and fucking with his little ibograine, okay? Now, I can't really give you the details of this, right? Because, you know, I have not had any personal connection with ibogaine, okay? I have not. I know people who have taken care of people that have done ibogaine. And it's very long lasting, okay? And what I've also, from my own personal research, there's a lot of like potential heart issues with it, okay? But now some people are really touting it as, you know, an addiction savior. And it's possible that it is good for addiction, but it is certainly something that shouldn't be done without a medical professional. Okay, it is you need to have a medical professional there. There is a heart attack risk with ibogaine. Okay, there is a heart attack risk with that shit. Now, I got sober with the 12-step. Okay, so I was not looking for, I didn't do any of the, I didn't do any of the, Chantix or whatever. They have all these things for like quitting smoking or getting off alcohol, right? What was the alcohol one that they used to do? Yeah, I know it is more for opiates. What was the alcohol one that they did for a while that was supposed to, if you take it, it was supposed to, like, you would drink alcohol and it would make you sell and abuse. That's right. Antabuse. Yes, thank you. So, yeah, I know some people who went that route. I did try to quit smoking many times with nicotine patches and the gum and all that. I found that, like therapy and cold turkey and 12 steps were really good. Okay. And hey, man, if it works for you, I think it's great. And guys, I'm going to say this. You ready? I think there's a place for ibogaine. And I certainly think there is a huge place for MDMA and ketamine and psilocybin, okay? And some people, methadone works. Some people get really addicted to methadone. I mean, the more tools, the better, okay? That is my personal philosophy. And I also, though, guys, I do not think that all antidepressants are bad. Okay, I know some people that have crippling fucking anxiety or crippling fucking depression. And if they didn't have, antidepressants, they would not be able to get out of bed for weeks or months at a time. Okay, so I think many tools is actually good. Okay, having many different tools is good, as long as they're like regulated and people are doing them sensibly. So the core argument, okay, the core argument for, the existence of these things or us exploring these things for our well-being, I agree with the core argument. Okay, now, what I don't like about this, though, guys, what I don't like about this is two things. Okay, one is that Joe Rogan knows how harmful Donald Trump is. He knows he lied about the election. He knows that Donald Trump is like harmful and toxic with women. He knows this. Okay, Joe Rogan is not stupid. He plays a stupid character on TV, but he's not stupid. Okay, I don't like the fact that Joe Rogan knows how harmful this guy is, and yet he will play the game with this guy in order to get like what Joe Rogan wants, while all of the people in his audience are getting thrown under the bus. Okay? And I have a problem with that, because I don't have a problem with politicking for benefit, but I do have a problem when you have a huge audience and you owe your audience like truth and honesty, and you will throw them all under the bus for your own like gain. That I think is shitty and disingenuous, because you're building a community based on like your own selfishness. So I have a problem with that, okay? Because Rogan will act like, oh, he's trying to play both sides of this whole political thing. I don't want to be associated with Trump, but I'm going to make sure I get everything I want out of this guy. And then I get all set up and fuck everybody else. So I don't like that. And number two, though, I don't like the fact that somebody can send a text to the president and just get like instant approval. Okay? You know why? There's multiple reasons. One is that puts us all in danger, because this guy's not very smart. This president does not do any research. He'll just do whatever for people who blow some smoke up his ass. So it puts us all at risk. But two, it is a world of privilege where Trump is basically, if you go to Mar-a-Lago, If you have my phone number, I'll do the world for you. But if you don't have my phone number or you don't go to Mar-a-Lago, fuck you. Like you don't get anything. Okay? I'm not your president. He is really only the president for the people at Mar-a-Lago and for the people standing behind him up here, you know, that send him text messages asking him for favors and shit. He's their president, but he's not our president. And that is like a huge fucking problem too. Okay? But yeah, let's fucking watch this clip though. Okay?
I want to tell everybody how this happened. I sent President Trump some information. We have a gigantic opiate problem in this country, obviously. In 2024, more than 80,000 people died of overdoses. It's a horrible number. And there's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it. It was literally that quick. These drugs are illegal not because they're harmful. They're illegal because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act that was passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under those terrible conditions. We're free of that now. We're free of that now. Thanks to all these people that you see next to me, and thanks to President Trump.
All right, now, again, I'm willing to acknowledge the truth in that, like, yeah, a lot of, like, psilocybin, MDMA, a lot of this shit was demonized in order for law enforcement to fill the prisons and to try and quell the youth that were wanting to drop out of society. That is accurate. But the idea that, like, we only move forward because Joe Rogan texts the president and, like, instant FDA approval? No, there's going to be no instant FDA approval because Joe Rogan sent a fucking text. Now, the other thing about ibogaine is you do need a medical professional near you. There are some risks with that, but it is expensive, guys. It is for the rich addicts. Okay, it's like $5,000 to $15,000 a dose. Okay, and no, your insurance is not covering it. So the people that are getting ibogaine are Joe Rogan's friends are going to be able to do ibogaine for their addiction, right? Not you and I. Okay, and this is even the issue with psilocybin and MDMA. Like I said, Jenny's a facilitator, and even with that, it is very expensive. The only people that can do this shit are people that are wealthy, okay? So even with this stuff getting sort of passed or coming forward or them opening the doors on some of this, it's not going to be available for like 95% of America, okay? It is only going to be available to the people that have money. And again, that's really problematic. Because the people, the lower class people are the ones that really need this, like this type of therapy. Okay. The people that have to go to work every day and they're an opiate addict because they got prescribed OxyContin, those people should be the ones getting that drug treatment. Okay. The guy that's got to work 3 jobs to support his family, that guy should be getting ample mental health care so he can fucking take care of himself. Because he's stuck working 3 fucking jobs. You know what I mean? But like all of these treatments and all of like the healthy food and all of the shit that benefits people, it only goes to those upper crusters. And most people that really need it are never going to get access. But yeah, if you're Joe Rogan, you can text Donald Trump and next thing you know, he's offering you FDA approval for your drug. He doesn't even know what it is. Okay, bro, this is bullshit. Okay, and yes, fuck the sack orders. All right, now we do have another clip though that I think is funny, which is I don't know if it's the same clip, but it might just be an image But there is, you know, there are some people who are like, oh shit, dude, Trump was like shitting his pants while they were up there. Let me find it. Oh, where is it? It's good, dude. The pant shitter. Dude, you can't go anywhere without Trump shitting his pants, dude. That is, there's like death, there's taxes, and there's Trump shitting a diaper. Those are absolutely the three realities we now live in, right? Where, let me find it. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Dude, where is it? I know I saw this. All right, hold on. Can't stand that fool. What fool? Joe Rogan? Dude, Joe Rogan is fucking bothersome. He is. And again, when Joe Rogan says, oh, Trump is bad, Trump is this, dude, Rogan doesn't buy that shit. Dude, Rogan loves Trump. He loves Trump because he can text him, and then he and his buddies are going to get ibogaine, and like, right? They're going to be frying out and loving it. All right. Hey, hold on. I know it's in here. Rogan loves tech bros more than Trump. Sure. I think Rogan loves anybody that affords him power, right? I'm sure of it, dude. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah. This is it. It's an image. Okay. This is an image here. Look at the image, bro. Dude. They're all just like, oh, dude. Right? Isn't that telling? Dude, I want to see the presser, dude. You just know, bro. You just know the stench. The stench is always there, guys. It is always there. Always. Dude, the stench. The sheer stench. All right.
You think in my first term,
There we go.
you think in my first term, for 28 years, drug prices went up, and I got it down 1/4 or 1/8%. I was so proud of myself. It's the only one that in 28 years got them down, and I had a new.
Dude, he's just like bullshitting. Dude, Joe Biden did so much work with like drug prices. Dude, Trump, he is like in a fantasy world.
Conference to explain how great I was. I said,
Right?
I'm the
Dude,
went up, and I got it down 1/4 or 1/8%. I was so proud of myself. It's the only one that in 28 years got them down. And I had a news conference to explain how great I was. I said, I'm the greatest there ever was. I got it down 1/8%. Okay? I was very proud because it only went up. For 28 years, it went up. Now I got it down a little bit. And now I got it down 50%, 60%, 70% with these guys. So now I am, But nobody wants to write about it, but it doesn't.
Dude, he's like obsessed. Look at them though, dude. Like, you notice at these press conferences, like these guys, they don't look normal back here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these guys, how they're back there. They're just like, they all look like they've got to fucking take a shit or something. A row of bobbleheads, yes. Dude, they all, I don't know if it's the diaper stench or what is going on, but you look at people behind him and they're always like, they just look fucking weird back there, bro. Like they don't know what to do with themselves. This guy, This guy's Putin's nephew right there. Dude, this guy, it feels like he's Benny Johnson's good buddy, if you know what I mean. Oh, come here, Benny. Oh, ride me, Benny. Dude, you think he loads up on fucking Big Macs and just fills it? You think he just soils it during the fucking meeting and they're all just back there trying to like stay out of the cloud, right? Is that what's going on? Because every press conference, dude, they just look like, I mean, they look like they've sold their souls, which they have, but dude, they just don't look like good, boss. That handshake, look at that shit.
I want to tell everybody how.
Dude, what is that handshake, bro? Dude, he's like, look at that handshake. He's like, will you take me back to the urinal? Oh, can you take me back to my bed? Come on. Oh, take me back to my bed, please. Dude, what are we doing? Dude, what are we doing, bro? You know? Rogan's like, Jesus, that shit is nuts, dude. Dude, the king shitter, right? But look at this. See, simultaneously, though, Rogan will do this shit.
It just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then it just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it. It just seems so insane.
Yeah, it seems so insane, but when me and my buddies need something, I'm going to text them up. I'm going to get that ibograine. I'm going to make sure I get a fat tax cut. And if he needs me to fucking, lie for him or some of his other, like, crook friends, I'm going to do that right before the election. And then I'll be back to saying, oh, this is insane, bro. This is crazy. Everyone feels betrayed, except let me text him real quick and get some drug laws changed, get an FDA approval for my new bald cure. Right? All I have to do is go stand behind him for, a couple of hours. And if I survive that, if I can stand behind him while he's filling the diaper and I don't pass out, dude, ibograine for all my friends, boss. Right? Dude, isn't that funny? I think Rupar had a clip of him. Hold on, let me see here. Right? Yeah, there it is. Dude, Rogan directly behind. He's standing directly behind him, dude. Like, isn't that weird? Dude, isn't that like a weird setup? Like, all of these guys are on the side, so like he and Trump can never really lock eyes. Like, Trump can never see him. He's standing behind him, but also Rogan is like right behind him, so he's like front and center because the camera's always going to be on Trump. So Rogan is like right with him.
Somebody, good to have you. Joe Rogan is a fantastic person. We did a little interview before the election. We had over 300 million people. And I said, oh man, I hope Kamala doesn't do it. And she didn't. He wanted her to do it, but she didn't. Someday Joe's going to explain why. I could tell you why. But along with many other, because she didn't want to, with many other veterans. And I just want to thank the people behind me are outstanding. Somebody.
Dude.
Good to have you.
Again, he's talking shit about Kamala, right? He's talking shit about Kamala. Joe is fucking right behind him though, dude. Isn't that weird? Isn't that like a weird setup, dude, that he's just like hidden back there? Dude, he must love the stench, bro. right? He must love the fucking stench, right? There he is. There he is. Look at him. Dude, look at him. Look at him, dude. There is no, Joe Rogan, there's no betrayal for this little guy, dude. Look at him beaming. Beaming. Okay? He is fucking beaming, boss. That shit is bizarre, though, bro. Okay? It is. Dude, that shit is fucking bizarre.
Good morning, and thanks to the leadership of President Trump for making this historic day possible. Under the executive order, HHS will accelerate research.
Look at him! Dude, look at this. Look at Rogan when he looks at RFK, dude. Watch Rogan's face, dude. He's like, oh my God, dude, he's doing the girl in the back seat of the car. Right? He's doing that. Dude, look at that. He totally does side-eye, bro. Like, watch this. I shit you not. Watch him. He does this 1,000%. You ready? Watch it. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God, dude, watch Rogan.
And thanks to the leadership of President Trump for making this historic day possible. Under the executive order, HHS will accelerate.
There he is! Dude! Look at him! That's it! Dude, he is like, whoa!
Research, approval, and access to new mental health treatments, including psychedelic therapies such as ibograine. We're taking this decisive step to confront one of the most urgent public health challenges facing.
Dude, and he's like barely a fucking weight. Look at his face, though, dude. Like, what the fuck, bro? Dude, what is going on, bro? Dude, Rogan, he has seen the devil. Dude, he has seen the devil.
Facing our nation, the mental health crisis. More than 14 million Americans live with serious mental illness, and 1 in 4 adults experiences a diagnosable disorder each year.
Dude, you see his fucking hand shaking, bro?
Suicide has risen by more than 30% over the past 2 decades, with another peak in recent years.
Dude, look at him!
More than 6,000.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Dude, RFK needs to, like, homie needs to fucking get him some decaf or some shit. Dude, he is tremoring.
Die by suicide each year since 2001. We have lost far more veterans to suicide than to combat. At the same time, millions of Americans living with depression, PTSD, addiction, and other conditions do not respond to existing treatments. We owe it to our warfighters and veterans to turn over every stone to alleviate the emotional and mental health blowback from their deployments. It's disturbing to me and to the president that hundreds, in fact thousands of veterans are having to travel to Mexico.
And yeah, dude, there he is. She's back, dude. Oh my God. He's got a podcast though, guys. If you want to listen to that voice, if you want to listen to that crackling voice for like several hours at a time, you can go look me up on YouTube. Right? If you want to listen to that voice for several hours, dude, go look up the fucking Crackling Rosie podcast, dude. Most veteran suicides aren't combat vets. Yeah, no, I know. Well, and you know, the other thing that's really wild about this is they're talking about mental health. Okay, and they're talking about whatever veterans, and then he says, oh, people grappling with depression. But man, they're not going to spend any time talking about all the transgender people that are probably trying to off themselves because of what a shit show these guys do, with the president going out and openly attacking them and making up lies about like transgender for everyone and fucking making jokes about them and shit. And meanwhile, they're like committing suicide at a huge rate, right? It's so fucking despicable. My God, no, they've cut VA funding. They have cut cancer research. They have cut every type of clinical research funding everywhere, dude. You know what I'm saying? They have. They have cut funding for everything, right? Saying Kyle was theorizing it was methylene blue. Yeah, see, I think he's shaking. I think it's from, I'll be honest, dude, I think it's from years of steroid use. Okay? I think he is just, RFK Jr. is like cooked, bro. I do. I think he is cooked. Dude, he is like, you guys remember 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗍? I don't know if you remember 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗍. He was a defensive player for the Denver Broncos that ended up being a Raider at the end of his career. But he was a dude who was a big steroid user. And like, man, in the end, dude, he was a fucking wreck. You know what I'm saying? He was a wreck. Dude, I think RFK Jr. is like, I mean, we've seen him. He's not all mentally there, dude. He is, brainworm, mercury ingestion, anabolic steroids, right? I mean, he's already got the drug pass. As somebody, for me, guys, I had a drug pass. So yeah, I have like, my short-term memory ain't what it was before, 10 years of doing blow. Okay. I definitely lost a little bit of the short-term memory. I got a little bit of that Aussie space out, and I don't mind, I mean, a little space out, dude, it keeps it fresh, keeps everything fresh. But dude, RFK though, dude, he's like, dude, he is cooked, dude. Not to mention his tanning regimen of him like climbing into a nuclear reactor every night to get that beef jerky, like catcher's mitt kind of face. Dude, right? He's got that beef jerky, catcher's mitt, that beef jerky dried out at 3 Mile Island facial look going on, dude. Right? I mean, if you tan in a nuclear reactor, there's going to be a side effect or two. You may get a little quivery after that. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, it's perfectly good nuclear reactor. Why are you making fun of my leathery skin? Dude. Oh, shit.
Or other countries to experiment with interventions that hold great promise. But
Rogan pulled the seat, though. Rogan's like, Trump can't see me, so I don't have to look at him. And I'm going to be like front and center this whole time. And all I have to do is put up with the smell for like 10 minutes, bro.
For which our knowledge is still insufficient. This executive order will remove the legal impediments that block American researchers, scientists, physicians, and clinicians from properly studying these medicines. Where appropriate, establishing protocols for their safe therapeutic use.
Dude, when I look at Trump, you know who he reminds me of? Cousin Rupert from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Okay, remember Steve Martin? I'm going to show you an image, dude. Oh my God. Those guys were con men in the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. And dude, here it is. You ready? Here he is, dude. This is Trump, bro. Dude, that's him. Dude, cousin Rupert. Ruprecht. That's what his name was. It was Ruprecht. Dude. Hold on, here we go. Right? You ready? There he is. Ruprecht. Dude. That's him, dude. Ruprecht. Oh, Jesus, bro. That is totally Trump.
We're directing the FDA to prioritize therapies that have received breakthrough therapy designation, treatments that early evidence suggests may improve what we have today. We're expanding the use of right to try so that eligible patients with treatment-resistant conditions can access these therapies under medical supervision. We're also coordinating with the DEA and the Department of Justice to begin
Dude, it's like I can't even listen to him, bro. I'm telling you right now, I have not listened to hardly any words that he says. I catch like every fucking 20 words because his voice is so objectionable to me. It is so objectionable, right? Let's go, dude. Thank you, Jay. It is so objectionable, right? It is. It is just absolutely like, oh, you don't like my voice. Oh, shit, bro. Oh, wait, Trump opens a book. Here we go. Hold on.
Scheduling reviews after successful phase 3 trials. When the FDA determines that therapy is safe and effective, patients should not face avoidable delays in access. At the same time, HHS will work with states, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and other federal partners to strengthen research and share.
All right, that's it. I can't do anymore. Thank you, cousin Rupert. We love you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Joe Rogan. This is Joe Rogan right here, guys. At Joe Rogan's new look. That's the Joe Rogan Trump look. Oh my God, boss. Fucking so bizarre. Yep. Dude, Rogan stands for nothing, boss. He does. He stands for nothing. Right? Dude, remember he was making fun of Theo Von? Oh, you got to get off SSRIs. But now he's like, I got ibogaine for you, buddy. I texted the president. We're going to give you some ibogaine. Fucking bizarro world, boss. All right. All right. Dude, Bernie. You see, guys, the right-wingers are flipping out about Tom Steyer. Have you seen this? They are flipping out about Tom Steyer, dude. All right, obviously with Swalwell gone, let's talk about this for a minute. Okay? Let's look at Steyer's platform. All right? He is a billionaire. All right? I'll tell you why they're flipping out, why the right-wingers are, guys. Because the people who hate billionaires are endorsing a billionaire. Okay? Now that's the problem. That is the root problem, okay? Because let's just look at it this way. You know that the right-wingers are they're simpletons, okay? So if you say billionaires are bad, all right, billionaires are bad, which they are. Uniformly, billionaires are bad. They are bad for the world. They are harmful for the economy. Now, does that mean we couldn't have a billionaire governor or a billionaire president? No, it does not. There certainly are a couple billionaires that want to raise taxes. They want to make a more progressive tax structure. They don't mind paying, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that billionaires are good, okay? A person can be a billionaire and be inherently harmful, and they can still have policies that are going to cause them and other people like them to pay more. But the Republicans, now that doesn't mean I can look at 𝗍𝗩 and say, yeah, I like 𝗍𝗩 and I would vote for him for president, but he's still a dirty ass billionaire, okay? And him being a billionaire is still harmful for the fucking world. I mean, those things can all be true at the same time. I can go see Taylor Swift. I love her music. I think she's amazing. And it's harmful that she's a fucking billionaire because billionaires are just harmful for the planet. I don't care how great she is. And she gives a lot of money away and she pays everybody big bonuses and shit, but still, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you multiple things can be true at the same time. Okay? Now, Bernie's group endorsed Tom Steyer. And so the right wingers are flipping out because they're like, Bernie, you said you hate billionaires, but you're endorsing Tom Steyer for governor of California. But guys, okay, we don't have a lot of options for California. Okay, you have. Let's just look at the options for California real quick. Okay, let's look at them. All right, you ready? Let's start with Steve Hilton. Okay, here's one option is this fucking clown. Okay, this fucking weirdo, this fucking alien testicle-headed weirdo who's always got a wood podium with some fake window behind him and a weird accent. He's only been in America for 5 years. He was a Fox News host, and this guy is trying to be governor of California. All right, that's a big hell no. Okay, that is a big hell no, guys. An absolute fucking hell no. Okay, dude, what the hell? This guy, testicle head, bro. Okay, no government experience. Like, I don't think this guy has any qualifications. Being a Fox News, like, on-air personality, you know, twice a month does not qualify you to be governor, okay? So, fuck that guy. All right, then the other guy we got is Chad Bianco. All right, now this guy is wild, okay? You ready? Because first off, this guy, closet Benny Johnson. Yo, homie. Dude, where you lose the key to the closet there, Chatty, or what? Okay, yo, dude, this guy, I'm sorry, buddy, but if you're going to be governor, you got to be out of the closet, okay? If you don't even know, like, where you are, like, bone-wise, you cannot be the governor of California, all right? That is an uncloseted position. Now, another thing to know about this guy, though, is this guy is a sheriff, okay, in Riverside. This guy's precinct, like the county sheriff that this guy is at, the sheriff's office that this guy runs, is the lowest rated law enforcement agency in the country, guys. The lowest. It is the bottom rated law enforcement agency of all police and sheriffs nationwide. His office is. He's not even good at being a sheriff, dude. He's good at, like, growing a porn mustache, right? He's good at that. He looks like, you know, he's pretty decent at, like, lifting some of them weights. But, bro, he's not even a good sheriff. His agency is terrible, okay? He is terrible. I presume because he's, you know, making, you know, J.O. vids or some shit, right? He's not really sheriffing a lot. All right, but yeah, disaster. All right, then the other one is Katie Porter, okay? Now, guys, Katie Porter, let me just tell you, I don't dislike Katie Porter. I think she was amazing in the House. I think she was a great legislator. She was great with the whiteboard. She certainly is skilled and qualified. I think Katie, though, like, why did Bernie endorse Katie why did he endorse Tom Steyer and not Katie? I'll tell you why. Okay. I think there's a couple of things that Katie has done that have hampered her. Okay, number one is she left her position in the House, which was a great position for her that she was very good at, and she had a really crucial function in the party, being the whiteboard woman in the House, and she challenged Adam Schiff in the Senate, and she shouldn't have done that. That was his seat. He was going to win. He was like a part of a very entrenched power structure, and she got, like, really big-headed, and in the process, she lost a lot of institutional support, okay? That, like, when she ran for that Senate seat, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? She should not have done that. And what's more, I think she, like, I don't know. I feel like she got ahead of herself in a weird way. And then, you know, those videos started coming out with her like snapping at reporters and yelling at her assistant. And I think she needs to disappear for a while and run for like a smaller local seat and like build herself back up. I don't know. I feel like maybe, you know, there's like a pecking order, okay, that you do have to obey. You know what I'm saying? There is a pecking order that you do have to obey. And I think like she unfortunately jumped ahead of that pecking order. And I think it made her sort of a little toxic inside the party. And I feel bad because I know she knows something is going on. I don't know if she's aware that it's because she like level jumped, and she level jumped without the support. Like if she wanted that Senate seat, she should have waited until Adam Schiff left and followed him. But like he was like the Trump fighter. Like that was just a weird, it was a bad move. Okay. I mean, we talked about AOC yesterday and her not, you know, not fucking endorsing that guy in Pelosi's seat. There's pecking orders that you do have to look at. Now, guys, you ready? I think she is qualified though. Okay. But here's why I think Bernie endorsed Tom Steyer. Okay. You ready? Here's why. I think Bernie endorsed Tom Steyer because he's more of a sure thing. Okay. Like they have to win California. They have to. Okay. They cannot let Bianco or Hilton win. And Katie's a little bit of a wild card. Okay. She is not a sure thing. They don't really know how much support she has. I think Xavier is a really good candidate too, but he is also a wild card. He doesn't have the name recognition. The like Steyer has the ability to step out there and go right to the front of the pack. Okay. And I think that's why Bernie just was like, it's like a Biden thing, dude. It's almost like he had to fucking bite the bullet, you know? And now, guys, what Matt says right there, let me just tell you, okay? I think Katie Porter, if you're listening to me, if you want to get back into that Democratic fold, if you want to get back in, Katie Porter, and you want to erase the like level jumping, drop out of the race. If Katie Porter dropped out here and backed Tom Steyer and started campaigning for him, she would instantly be back into the center of the Democratic fold. That would be a huge move for her, okay? It would be a huge move for her. That would, like, those are the kind of moves where you can, like, okay, I'm on the outside. That would get you right back in. You know what I mean? You know, that kind of stuff. See, I don't know if she thinks about that, but that would be a power move, dude. All of those old guard people would be like, oh shit, she took one for the fucking party. She took one for the, you know, the squad. Okay. That would be huge, right? You know, maybe I would, if I was her, I would do it. I would. But so anyway, the right wingers are like flipping. Okay. I love her, but she has a problem where, why is she on the outs? I just talked about it, Bradshaw. She's on the outs because she went from a House seat to challenging Adam Schiff in a primary of a Senate seat that everybody knew he was going to win. And she like super level jumped. Like nobody necessarily wanted her to run for that seat. And so she like threw herself into a like challenging a very well entrenched personality that was an anti-Trump figure. And like she had this thing that was really good for her. And she sort of, I think, got ahead of herself. Right. And I think that is like, it kind of put her on the, it's not like people don't like her, but it's like, you know, when you level jump like that, you sort of lose some of the support of the institutional like backing of the party, right? Well, and the yelling at her staff, though, and then the video, like, you know, some shit about her and her ex-husband, and then her and the interview with the reporter. There were then some incidents that added on to that. But guys, I'll be honest. I think even some of the behavior that I see with her maybe yelling at her staff, I think maybe she was just getting a little high on her own supply, okay? And I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the whiteboard. She was blowing up on TikTok. She became this thing. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm just going to go for the top slot. And I think she started getting a little, you know, my mom used to say, getting a little too big for her britches. And I think maybe that caught up with her a little bit. But anyway, I think if she were to drop out now and sort of take one for the team to guarantee the California win, she could repair a lot of that with some schmoozing right now. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of schmoozing. I wish she had stayed where she was at. She had a solid Senate seat, a solid House seat, and she was really good at it, guys. You know what I'm saying? She was really good at what she was doing with the whiteboard. And I think she thought the whiteboard good meant she could just go out there and be like the top player. And so I think Steyer, like, he's going to lock it. But let's look at his platform. All right, let's see what he says here. Okay. He wants to build 1 million homes you can afford. All right. He wants to close corporate tax loopholes. He wants to lower electricity bills. He's got a plan to lower gas prices, free education from pre-K to college, guys. Okay, free education, pre-K to college. Now, let me just tell you, California used to have free education, guys. Seriously, I went to UCLA, it's a top 20 school, 1987. I paid $435 a quarter, dude. I did an entire year of UCLA for like $1,200, boss. $1,300, right? That was it. If you were a state resident, it was free. Okay. Now it is not. Now, even a state resident, it's like $13,000 a year. Okay. It's crazy, right? Stop mass ICE agents. Okay. Stand up to DHS. And this is also, you know, Trump. He's going to protect the immigrant community in California. Defend the climate. Okay, ensure health care for all Californians, guys. That is the universal health care. There's a couple states that are doing this, guys. Oregon is working on universal health care. California wants to do universal health care. There's a number of states that are doing it. They're not waiting for the federal government. And I believe they're going to draw the roadmap, okay? And make sure all Californians benefit from AI, so there's AI regulation. So, dude, this guy has a good platform, okay? You see him with the photos. He is like diversity. He's clearly hanging out with some people that, you know, right-wingers would fucking want to deport in his photos. I mean, he's even got a little bit of a rainbow theme. If you look at his things, he sort of has an LGBTQ vibe built into his the way he uses colors, okay? Now, he does want to do a progressive tax thing. It is kind of Atari. He does want to do a progressive tax structure. So anyway, so Bernie endorsed him today, guys. Now, Bradshaw, you said that he was on Hassan. How did that go? Are there any good clips from him and Hassan? Did Hassan like him? Okay, because I don't like billionaires, guys. I am anti-billionaire, but I feel like he is the most reliable and like definitely electable guy for California right now. Okay, so I don't dislike him. His platform is certainly good. I feel like establishing like universal health care in California, and if they could do something about the education there, that would be really good, like roadmaps for the rest of the country. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That would be good roadmaps. Now, I would imagine Anna and Cenk, they wanted to vote for Caruso for the mayor of LA, so they should be on the Tom Steyer wagon, okay? But what was I going to look up here? I remember. I was going to go to Our Revolution. So it was... All right, so this is Bernie's, right? Defund oligarchy, right? Fund the people, okay? And where is it? They announced it right here. Right here. Our Revolution endorses Tom Steyer for California governor. Okay, this happened today. Okay, here, where is it? Right here. All right. It says, we've never endorsed a billionaire. Okay, you ready? He does. He wants to abolish ICE. Yeah, he says, we've never endorsed a billionaire, but Tom Steyer is using his position to upset the system. As Our Revolution executive director, George 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗪𝗍 told The Intercept, he's been a partner in the movement. Most billionaires have used their wealth and privilege to lock in the status quo. Tom is doing the opposite. Tom Steyer has put his money where his mouth is on climate change and is running on taxing the wealthy, single-payer healthcare, and getting big money out of politics. He's aligned with our mission, working with the grassroots, and has the best shot to stop a Republican from being California's next governor. The conversation around this race is heating up. Read more, okay? And now, guys, I'm telling you, too, that he's the safest bet right now. He is. He has a good platform. His platform is good. His platform is good. I think he is the most balanced option we have right now, and I think that's why Bernie went with him. I'll tell you this. You ready, guys? You ready? Here's the deal. I think he's better than Eric Swalwell, okay? Even before Swalwell's like essay shit, I think if I had to choose between Steyer and Swalwell, I think Steyer would, like, Swalwell is a little, I don't know, arrogant and a little fucking hip firing and definitely, doesn't know how to fucking tailor a suit. He always is wearing a suit coat like 3 sizes too small, like a goddamn fucking high school kid. You know what I mean? And drinking problem. Swalwell had a pretty well-known drinking problem. So, I mean, given the opportunity between those two, this guy makes more sense. Now, I don't know if we can trust him. That'll be like, we'll find out. But I do say this, his platform, okay? His platform is progressive, okay? It is. This is a progressive platform, all right? There's no... You know what I'm saying? There's no way to deny that. And I mean, look at him in his own words. All right, let's look at him in his own words. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt here, where he says, I'm the most progressive candidate in the race. Okay, here's what he says.
A lot of people are new around here, and if you are new around here, I want to tell you what I'm about. I'm the most progressive person in this race. I'm the person who's for single payer. I'm the person who's going to take on the electric monopolies and drive down costs 25%. I'm the person who's going to build housing in this state. I'm the person who's going to make change here. The corporate special interests don't like it. We're going to tax them. We're going to tax the richest people here. This is the richest state in the world. We have the highest poverty rate in the United States. That's got to change. The only thing I want to do is work for working Californians. A lot of people are...
All right. So, dude, I mean, right? Let me tell you what I liked about that, okay? I tell you what I liked is that, one, I like the fact that he's talking about taxing the richest people and taking on corporations. I like the fact that he made a reasonable goal of wanting to tackle the electric companies and reduce rates 25% is a goal. I'll tell you what. I like the fact that he's wearing fucking like tennis shoes, dude. You know what I mean? He's like dressed whatever, like a regular, whatever billionaire dude would, but he's got some tennis shoes on. He's on his feet. He's working it. So I don't know. Can we trust him? We don't know. We're going to find out. But here's what I do know. I know that he's electable. I know that he's got a progressive platform at least, okay? And in the wake of the Eric Swalwell scandal, which everyone is reeling from, I think he can make sure we don't end up with a fucking Chad Hilton, okay? Now, Steve Hilton, sorry. I said Chad Hilton, dude. Chad Bianco and Steve Hilton, I combined them. Chad Hilton. Dude, those two, Monique and Unique. Okay? Now, you ready? I hope, I'll say it again, I want Katie Porter to try to repair her level jumping with the Democratic Party by dropping out and becoming an advocate for Steyer. I think that would repair a lot of the damage of her level jumping. If she gets that message, maybe I'm going to try and like tweet at her or something. Say like, try and encourage her to do that. That would be even better for her to drop out and take one for the fucking party team to help guarantee the California win. I think that would make people forget about all her previous level jumping and probably get her right back in the thick of the party. So maybe she does that, maybe not. But the right wingers are flipping out about Tom Steyer. Okay, look at this. Adam Carolla says this guy might be worse than Newsom. Okay, you ready? And Tom Steyer wanted President Trump impeached because he rejected the climate change hoax. Now Democrats want him as the California's governor. So the right-wing reaction to this guy is like they are fucking freaking out, right?
You've got to think that the number one job of the President of the United States is to protect the lives and safety of the American people. And here we have a president who, in denying climate change, is preventing this country from doing the very positive things that we can do that will make us healthier and richer, better employed with higher wages, and also deal with the ravages of increasing climate change. And here we are in Northern California with fires.
Dude, it's obvious. Like, bro, it's like 115 in fucking Oregon during the summer. The planet is fucking heating up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they are, look at this though. They are flipping out, okay? All of these right-wingers, right? Anti-billionaire group endorses billionaire. Perfect, no notes, right? Look at this. Polymarket, our little right-wing fucking plants, say anti-billionaire progressive group Our Revolution officially endorses Tom Steyer for California governor. Okay, right? Beyond parody, right? Blah, 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 right? You know what I'm saying? Look at this person. I better not hear a motherfucking thing about progressives and leftists complaining about Democrats beholden to the donor class. All right, there's somebody who's mad at leftists, okay? But the right-wingers are flipping out, okay? They're flipping out. And there's Our Revolution. We're back in Tom Steyer. He's leaning into universal solutions, single-payer healthcare, taxing extreme wealth, climate action, and ending the outsized influence of corporations. Yes, he's a billionaire, but he's using his platform to challenge the very system that benefits people at the top. And he's working directly with the grassroots to do it. So I will say this. I will say, yes, you can definitely judge by the enemies, but obviously the fact that he's working with Bernie Sanders and he's working with the grassroots, that says a lot, okay? I think, guys, I think back to Hillary in 2016, man, and I think of what the world would have been like if Hillary would have been willing to work with the grassroots, okay? Imagine if Hillary had been willing to work with Bernie and she made him VP. Dude, we would have never had a Trump, okay? That would have ended fucking Trump and MAGA right there if Hillary had been open to working with the grassroots, okay? And so this guy being open to work with the grassroots, that says a lot, man. Because I think leftists and centrists and the grassroots and the establishment, they should be working together. That's the whole fucking point, dude. We all bring different shit to the table, man. That's the beauty of our fucking party, bro. But man, dude, if Bernie had just made Hillary, or if Hillary had just made Bernie the VP, dude, the Trump era would have ended right there, dude. Would have been lock, stock, and barrel. We would have been done with that shit. You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, the red states can eat a dick. We pay for all those fuckers. Okay? But look at this, though. They are freaking out. Okay? The right-wingers are freaking out. Dude, am I following him? I don't think I'm even following. Oh, I am following him. All right, good. And right here, though, right? Not exactly sure how you reconcile battling against the billionaire class when you go out and endorse one to become the leader of the largest state in the union. But guys, I think you can battle billionaires by partnering with a billionaire. Okay? You can. You know what I mean? I mean, if it's the right guy. Now, maybe we get burned and maybe he goes and fucks shit up and maybe he blows it out. Or maybe this guy is like driven by the fact that he's lived his life as a billionaire and maybe he's trying to like right his wrongs before he leaves the planet. Okay, but I think though you can acknowledge that billionaires are bad and also realize that like we still have to work with billionaires sometimes. Okay? And fuck Fetterman though. But Fetterman though is crazy. But like what this woman says, I'd rather have a billionaire who attacks people like himself than a non-billionaire who protects the billionaire class. And this is true right here, guys. Right? Would you rather have a billionaire who will tax the billionaires or a non-billionaire who protects them? I mean, I'll take the billionaire with the taxes, right? I would. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you take that? Okay? But they are flipping, dude. People are flipping, right? The Fox News people, excuse me, right? Steyer is going to be the D nominee this fall. Amazing, right? Dude, they are kind of like people are fucking livid about this shit, dude. I like that. I do. I like that, right? This guy is an asshole. This Stephen Miller dude, look at him. He's fucking, they're so pissed. Dude, the right wingers are so pissed. Dude, they think they have a gotcha, but it's really just how burnt up they are, you know? But you know what I said though, guys? Do you want to see what my response was? Okay. Can I show you what my response was to this? Because Polymarket said anti-billionaire progressive group Our Revolution officially endorsed it. I said, I mean, if the Christians can vote for the Antichrist, all right, come on, tell me, you know? I mean, to me, that says it all. If the Christians can vote for the Antichrist, like Bernie's people can vote for a billionaire, right? You know, that's how I see it. It is true. You know, I'm not going to hear it from any of these MAGA shitters, okay? I'm not. Because you guys voted for the Antichrist and you're still polishing his knob after he is literally like pretended to be Jesus and shit. So don't come knocking on my door about your complaints about fucking Tom Steyer, okay? I'm not hearing it, bro. You know, that's my thing, dude. Oh, shit, dude. They are pissed. Dude, let's see what Steve Hilton says, though. Dude, this guy, the Steve Hilton, is a clown, bro. Oh, my God, dude. Where is he? What a clown this guy is. Has he commented? Because, see, look at this. This is going to change real quick, bro. Right? This is going to change. Like, Steyer is going to launch. Okay? He is going to launch. I mean, he's going to launch. I still think Katie should drop out. Okay? I do. I think Katie Porter, if she drops out, that would be such a power move. Dude, I'm going to try and get Katie to fucking drop out. I think that would be such a power move. That would be, like, really amazing. Right? Oh, look at this guy. All right, let's see Steve Hilton, dude.
They don't have anything else to say. That's why the Trump thing is all they've got. And that's, I just want to go to the Trump endorsement. And
dude, this guy is such a testicle head, bro. He is. What a testicle-headed weirdo.
They don't have anything else to say. That's why the Trump thing is all they've got. I just want to go to the Trump endorsement.
Testicle
one of the arguments
head.
made there, which is, oh, it's going to hurt you because he's so unpopular in California, etc. You heard it 1,000 times. No, it's not.
Steve Hilton
We know perfectly well that the Democrats will, regardless of whether I got the Trump endorsement, that's how they will be attacking me because they got nothing else. It'll be MAGA, 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 SHMAGA, you know, Trump, Trump, Trump the whole time because the record is a total disaster. They got nothing new to offer, no ideas for change. All they've got.
Dude, what is up with Cruella DeVille over here, bro? Dude, I'm like worried about these people.
Trump. So the endorsement makes no difference to that. They would have done it anyway. But what you get with the endorsement
what do
is
you
a
get?
Boost of energy for Republican turnout, which we haven't had before.
Yeah, the testicle head voters are gonna come out in droves, buddy, because of Trump, dude. Nutsack noggin.
He hasn't done this before, and so it's going to really help get the Republican vote out, which is not enough to win, but it's a big part of it. So it's absolutely clear to me that it's a positive.
Dude, the Steve Hilton show, bro. Sorry, buddy, you ain't winning, right? You ain't winning, dude. Look at these guys, bro. Jesus, dude, the gubernatorial town hall, dude. Dude, emphasis on goober. Oh my God, bro. The Make California Healthy Again town hall. Look at these guys. Dude, the gubernatorial town hall with the emphasis on goober. Jesus Christ. Dude, it's like hard to look at, bro. I mean, I don't know. Dude, what is up with this guy? Dude, keep this guy away from the children, bro. Jesus. I don't know if I'm looking at a fucking Republican town hall or if I'm looking at a fucking bathhouse, bro. Jesus. That is those are four of the ugliest gay dudes I've ever seen in my life, dude. Dude, if we're going to put together the Village People again, at least make them good looking. For the love of God, dude. Oh, Jesus. Dude, Louis Herms, Leo Zachy, Chad Bianco, and Steve Hilton, of course, from rumble.com, dude. Oh my God, boss. Oh, Jesus. All right. Sorry, buddy. Your days are over, Stevie. Oh, man. But they are livid. The right-wingers, hate him so much. Dude, you guys see this? This is amazing, dude. The Onion acquired Infowars. After 17 months of legal battles, the newly, rejuvenated Onion purchased Infowars, and they're making it a parody of itself with this lovely LGBTQ nod in the lettering. And this is all being done with the permission and the approval of the Sandy Hook families. This is real, guys, because Alex Jones had to sell all his shit, and the Sandy Hook families, the Onion, which is under new management over the last couple of years, the Onion went to the families and said, here's the deal. We want to fucking do this. We want to buy Infowars, and we want to parody this. And we want to fucking turn this around, but we're not going to do it without your approval. Okay? Right? And I mean, think about how respectful that is. Right? Think about how fucking respectful that is, guys. We're not going to do this without your approval. And the family said yes. And here we are, dude. There's the new Infowars. 17 months, bro. They've been fighting over this. Okay? Isn't it crazy? Isn't it fucking crazy, guys? I think that's amazing. I think that is amazing because, you know why? Because I feel like the Sandy Hook family shouldn't have to do it themselves, right? They deserve people to like, you know what? No, you guys step back. We're going to fight this one for you, okay? We're going to fucking get in front of you guys. We're going to fight this for you and fuck these guys, you know? And so, dude, I think it's pretty amazing, okay? I think it's amazing. Let's look at it, okay? All right. So it's agreed to a new deal to take over Infowars. All right. And, right, the satirical website The Onion has a new deal to take over Infowars, right? The Onion will turn it into a parody of itself. It's so the families in Sandy Hook are still waiting for $1.3 billion judgment they won against Jones. Jones hasn't paid any of his bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? They're still waiting on that money. He's hiding his shit. He is a despicable piece of trash. Okay? And that prompted the Jones followers to harass them for years, of course, with his fucking bullshit. Okay? And they fucking took him to court and won. So the Onion, let's see, 8 years after the Sandy Hook parents first filed suit, they'll finally get some justice and even some money, said Ben Collins, CEO of The Onion. Okay? The Onion posted a satirical message from the fictional CEO of Global Tetrahedron, Bryce P. Tetrader. Dude, the dream is finally coming true. All right? So they have a new logo. Let's see. So a bankruptcy judge rejected The Onion's attempt to buy it. Okay? And then they clarified that because Infowars' parent is not itself in bankruptcy, should be handled by a Texas state receiver. That cleared the way for a new pending deal to lease Infowars to The Onion. So I guess the sale hasn't been approved yet. It's going to be a lease, okay? Right? And the deal calls for The Onion to pay $81,000 a month to license Infowars.com, domain and brand name, which will cover carrying costs to preserve and protect the assets of the receivership estate until the appeal, because Jones is going to appeal it. Okay, he's trying to block all this shit because he's a fucking prick. So, dude, he is such a degenerate. But I think ultimately, guys, is they want to buy it and they want to, you know, pay the Sandy Hook families. And there you go. Okay? They want to help those people get paid, right? And good, they should, because Alex Jones is going to try to fuck them for the rest of his life because he's a degenerate piece of shit. All right? He is, dude. That guy, like, and you know, I mean, dude, we're like, whatever. I'm happy that, you know, that he's also destructing MAGA. I'll give him a little credit for, you know, self-destructing MAGA and whatever, causing some damage to Trump. And yeah, fine. If he wants to go be a wrecking ball in the Republican Party, more power to you. But that ain't getting him off the hook. That is not going to wash away the sins he's done. Okay? He is forever going to be in the negative column. Okay? I mean, I will amplify his voice while he destroys MAGA because I'll amplify all those motherfuckers. But that ain't getting him out of his, you know what I'm saying? He's despicable and he's never getting out of that dirty cell. Oh, dude, you're in Huntington Beach, 𝗙𝗡𝗆? Yeah, I used to surf down in Huntington Beach. There's definitely some MAGA down there. And there are some like rich MAGA in Huntington Beach too, right? There's people who otherwise have like maybe liberal social values, but they'll vote for the Trump because they'll vote MAGA for the money, right? Money MAGA? Dude, the money MAGA are the worst, bro, right? They are, dude. They're worse than the toothless shitters because they don't even believe in it. They're literally just, wealth supremacy. But yeah, dude, I think the Infowars thing is classic, dude. Right? Where it is? Is the Ben Collins from The Onion not on social media? Oh, there he is. There he is. All right. Yeah. I was like, dude, that other guy wasn't Ben Collins, dude. I'm like, fuck. Dude, 1_. That's right. All right. I found him. But yeah, he is the fucking... I remember when he announced being the CEO of The Onion, it was like a big deal. But this is going to be big, guys. Okay? These guys are like genuine fucking good human beings, man. You know what I'm saying? The people running The Onion now, it's like, I mean, it's good shit. Funny too, dude. I just love it. I love it. So they're $81,000 a month for 6 months. Okay, and then that's while Alex Jones, does his appeal, and then they want to buy it. They're trying to buy it. They're trying to buy it and have it be done with. But for the next 6 months, they're paying a fucking $500,000. Dude, I love the logo though. It's beautiful. This is like. You know what I like about this, guys, is I feel like this is like a victory of spirit, okay? It is. It is a victory of spirit, guys. You know what I mean? It reminds me of this. Let me show you. I have a personal favorite fucking... Right? That, for me, this is a victory of spirit. Okay? I put this around on the internet. Dude, right? Where I used their meme for the Democrats with the little MAGA hat on. And they fucking get so uptight because they're like, how dare you use the liberal meme back on us? And that's what I love about the Infowars thing is it's like taking their shit back and slinging it back. It is like a triumph of the spirit where, it's not going to undo the damage, but it is like this is going to start healing for the Sandy Hook people. Those triumphal spirit things. We do need to do that more often. I think these types of battles are actually really important. They are, right? They are. They're really important to sort of take the reins back. And this is why, I bought a Jets hat with an American flag. I have a jeans jacket with an American flag on it because I think we need to take we need to take the flag back, guys. Okay? We need to co-opt the flag and we need to take that shit back and take away their, because they're not the patriots, guys. They only like a subset of America. You don't get to call yourself a patriot unless you're defending everyone. Okay? In order to be a patriot, you have to defend the Christians, the Muslims, the Catholics, the Hindus, the brown, the yellow, the red, the green, the black, the white, right? The gay, the trans, the non-binary. You need to be going to bat for the non-citizens that benefit from the U.S. Constitution simply by having their feet on U.S. soil as the founders intended. Okay? You have to be all in for the whole package. You don't get to just pick and choose whoever you like or approve of. Like, no, man. You know what I'm saying? You are for everybody. The melting pot. Okay? And this tracks, I remember going back to shows like Welcome Back, Kotter, and these shows in the 70s, man. And America was not just white Christians. Okay? It was, I mean, and I mean, that was even when there was a lot of racism and a lot of gatekeeping, and there were a lot of even harmful tropes and shit, a lot of misogyny on TV. That shit was not perfect. But one of the things that they were emphasizing in the 70s was like, we are a lot of different kinds. That was the one thing that came from the civil rights movement and that post-war movement is there's a lot of different kinds of us. And yes, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. It's on the Statue of fucking Liberty. You don't get to like hail the Statue of Liberty in your little AI photo and then cry when the huddled masses show up and fucking put them in jail and shit. You know? Give me a fucking break. And we're not starting wars for fucking Benjamin Netanyahu so Jared Kushner can get more billions from Saudi Arabia. You fucking dinks. Like, give me a fucking break, bro. You know? Not having that shit. All right. That being said, I've used up the time for tonight. We're going to look at Zorro Ranch tomorrow. I'm sorry we didn't get to it tonight, but that'll give me more time to dig up. If you, dude, Vinny Barbarino, baby. Dude, Gabe Kaplan was amazing. Dude, Mr. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, right? Dude, how woke Captain Planet was. Dude, I grew up watching all the woke shit, bro. Dude, I was a Sesame Street kid. And let me just tell you, man, Sesame Street in the 70s, bro. It was like I watched that shit religiously, dude. Look at this shit, bro. Look at this, okay? Look at that, man. That is what I grew up watching, okay? Dude, and they're on a stoop. They're in New York, okay? They were on a stoop. They were not in the rich area. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you even had a guy living in a trash can. You had the potential, like, were they buddies or were they gay lovers? We don't know, right? You had like the negative people, the positive people, right? The people, all different colors. But we were like learning how to read. We were singing. We were dancing. We were sitting out on stoops and we were learning about community. Okay? We were learning about community, man. And this shit was amazing, dude. Dude, I fucking used to watch this shit. Like, guys, I was an addict. I was so, like, Sesame Street obsessed. It's how I learned how to, like, I learned how to read and shit. I think watching Sesame Street, dude. That shit was amazing, but it was so diverse, okay? It was, like, woke as shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And it also cemented my love for New York, boss, okay? Because they were always on the stoop in, like, a fucking, you know, in like a brownstone apartment complex, right? But super diverse, man. Super fucking diverse, dude. It was amazing, dude. Amazing shit, boss. But look at that, dude. Dude, that shit is fucking, you know? I mean, you have Native Americans back here, right? You have plenty of people of color, whether they're like Dominican, black people, right? You have fucking people back here that look like they're Italian. You know, I mean, New York, like if you guys have ever been to New York City, okay? If you've been in New York City, it's like, there's really nowhere else like it that is so, like the neighborhoods are like single ethnicity neighborhoods all packed next to one another. And then there's a little mix of other people, of like artists that are mingled in amongst them. But you will go to neighborhoods that are like where the entire neighborhood is like Haitian people that's right, or the entire neighborhood are Puerto Ricans who don't even speak English up in Inwood and shit. You know what I mean? I mean, in entire neighborhoods of like Hasidic Jews, entire neighborhoods of fucking, you know, people from the same fucking sections of Italy. And those neighborhoods are then right next to one another. Yeah, you walk 2 blocks and you're in another neighborhood of like a completely different culture. And there's like food from that culture. But they're not like, you know, there's big city tensions, but they're like not warring with each other. They're fucking coexisting in a really profound way. And, you know, when I was there, like during the blackout in 2003, everybody was out on the street. It's really wild, man. It is really fucking wild, dude. You know, and now my son lives in Brooklyn. He lives in Crown Heights, and he lives in a neighborhood that is very diverse, right? His neighborhood is like super, you know, there's not a lot of white guys in his neighborhood, right? There's a lot of people of color, and he's also right near a very Hasidic Jewish neighborhood too, right? But he loves it, dude. He's like, he's digging it, man. It's amazing. And you can go 6 blocks and be in a completely different world, dude. It's fucking incredible, bro. That's how I grew up though, man. You know, coexist, baby. Dude, I saw somebody in chat say this, like, I feel the same thing. I do feel like I got a lot of my core values from Sesame Street. Absolutely. Dude, I love Only Murders in the Building. We fucking watch that. Dude, that is another one. That is definitely, you know, that is more Central Park, like New York living, right? You're definitely going on the Upper East, Upper West Side in that movie, but it is also though very communal, right? It is totally like, I don't know, community based as well. I love that show. But dude, I like the Upper East and West Side though of New York as well. I like the whole city, dude. It's just an amazing city. And hopefully maybe one day I'll live there. Remember Zoom? I don't remember Zoom. What was Zoom? Was Zoom a show? I mean, for me, the big shows when I was a kid were Captain Kangaroo, Electric Company, Mr. Rogers, and Sesame Street. And I liked Sesame Street, and I liked the Electric Company too. I liked the singing ones, the singing and dancing ones. Dude, the Electric Company was another one, dude, that was amazing. Okay. Right? It was another show that was like super diverse, boss. Right? That definitely had, dude, Electric Company, dude, that show was badass, dude. Dude, that shit, hey, you guys, right? Oh, dude, shit was the bomb, dude. Oh, so good. That was another one of my jams, dude. Right? That shit was jamming. Yeah, it's great. It started with this yell, dude. Hey, you guys. Dude, so good. But it was like, I don't know, dude. It was soulful, bro. It was soulful. Right? Dude, was Morgan? Oh, yeah, he's right there, dude. Right there, dude. Yeah, let's see who the original cast was. It was 1971. Okay. It was Morgan Freeman, Judy Grobert, Rita Moreno. She was the one who had the intro voice. Hey, you guys, was Rita Moreno. Skip Hinard. Bill Cosby was in there. Grapist. Right? But this was before he was a grapist, right? There were a lot of fucking cast members, right? Gene Wilder, right? Was in there. They had like voice skits, and it was Reeves Teletape Studios in Manhattan. All right, it was on PBS, 780 episodes over 6 seasons. Right, so dude, that's crazy. It employed sketch comedy and various other devices to provide an entertaining program to help elementary school children develop their grammar and reading skills. Right? Dude, it was amazing. But they had like, you know, I remember it being like groovy. Right? And definitely like I was into learning. It's a great show though. Great show. Dude. All right, it's time though. I gotta get to work, baby. I do gotta get to work. Let's go. Let's get it going. It's time for that dance party. Time for our own little electric company. Dude, I'm tired. I actually slept on the floor of this office last night for like 4 hours. I napped in here. I'm gonna actually sleep in my bed tonight. Yeah, well, dude, they defunded PBS and all that. They defunded all this shit because it's woke. But like, dude, you know, like woke is the natural order. You know, and I mean, I know these religious zealots aren't going to acknowledge that, but it's true. Dude, the natural order of things is woke. Okay? That's just factual. All right? It's factual, guys. All right, you ready? I'm gonna wear my Grover shirt tomorrow. All right, just so you know, tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna wear a Grover shirt. I'm gonna bring I have a badass Grover shirt I will wear tomorrow. Grover was always my favorite. All right, dude, I was fucking Sesame Street was my jam, and now we're gonna dance. But tomorrow I will be wearing a Grover shirt. All right, come hang out. If you want to fucking hang out with Grover and me tomorrow, let's go. All right, let's get it, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh.
Time with you. only notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see it light. Things will turn out alright this time, I know.
Let's go! Oh, let's go! And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, but I want more. I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more. More from you, yeah, more. More from you, yeah, more. I want more from you, yeah. Dude, if you know anyone in Virginia, make sure you get them out to the polls. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day. Thank you, guys. Take care of your head. It is gonna get worse before it gets better, believe me. But you are not alone. If you ever need someone, join the Discord. All right, stay active in your local communities. You know, be light, be love, and don't let them break you. Fuck Donald Trump, dude. And fuck Maga. We got this. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. Good night. Stay radiant.
Hey, I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I will never be alone.